to vote in that poll. 483 people voted. It's not possible. It's not possible. That's where they were stuffing the ballots with their votes because they wanted Pinewood so bad. That's why they were instructed not to seal the boxes. Remember, after the election, they wanted us to agree to something. I said, no, let us see the boxes and then I'll agree to it. They took us to the police headquarters in the control room where they had it in the safe. The Pinewood box was all the way around the corner where you couldn't see it from the front, and in the back, it was opened, and the key was torn open. It's Pinewood and Lincoln Bean they're afraid of. All right? And that's why we had to stand in front of that bus until they sealed it. We had to stop them. Also, polling division number 12, sorry, wrong one. Polling division number 11, polling division number 11, polling division number 11, 92.5% of the voters voted, of the registered voters. This ain't happened nowhere else in the country. It's not live. I ain't blame them, look at that. Yeah, it's looking like it's live to me. Let me see. Something blink out. Okay, it's looking like it's live to me. It's live? Okay. Yeah, it's live. I can see it on there. Yeah. Okay. Y'all just keep paying attention because you know they don't want this out there. So, that's two of the polling divisions. They parted extremely high. They filled it with their own votes. They just went in the advanced poll boxes and the other box and just filled it with votes. And the FNM and PLP were working together on this because the both of them are afraid for me to be in that house. Bahamas, I want you all to wake up. I need every single Bahamian who's a patriot of this country to show up and volunteer to be our poll workers in this upcoming election. I'm going to call on the international community to watch them. And other things I won't say now. But they are terrified of being exposed. They are terrified of not being in control of this country anymore. They are terrified of me. And so, this is unequivocal proof that they cheated in the last election. So what they did was pull the COI votes out and part it with their votes. You say something, you can talk. Oh, someone is saying they missed most of what was said. And so that was blocked out for some reason. So I'm going to say it again. You good? So they were flagging the page? Okay. All right, so they were flagging the page. So let's do this again. Let's do this again. Everyone who's on this live, please share the live. Please take some time, share this live. Like and share. You know the little like to the bottom that makes the hearts and the things go up? Do that, and that's going to confuse the algorithm. So keep them going. Make sure that at all times that is going, all right? So they scared. They don't want this to come out. All right? But ladies and gentlemen, in polling division number 8, I'm going to repeat it. Polling division. Yeah, polling division number 8. Whereas in every other polling division, it was either 50-something or 40-something % voter turnout. in polling division number 8, there was 105% voter turnout. Impossible. Even if everyone turned out, it would be 100%. It is impossible to have 105%. They stuff the box with their votes. That's what they did. That's how desperate they are. And this only happened in Pinewood. They ain't afraid of anything else. They are more terrified of me than anything in this world. And the reason they're terrified of me is not because of me per se, It's because they know that we are going to empower the Bahamian people. They know that I'm going to empower you. And they feel that if the slaves are gone, their power is gone. And so also in polling division number 12, thank you for that. Number 11, there was a 92.5, make sure I see that right. Yes, 92.5% turnout. When every other polling division was 57%, 47%, so that could tell you how much they padded it to get it there. Wake up, Bahamas. That's what they did. And the PLP and FNM worked together to do that. Our elections are flawed. And so this thing that they are talking about, these electronic cards, okay, that's progress, cool. But they are putting a trick in there. They always put something good with something diabolical to hope you focus on the good. Like when they wanted to give women certain rights in the referendum, but then they were putting that gay rights thing in there, have gay marriage. They always mix it so you don't see it. This bill, they are saying that they are going to take the biometric data from the passports and then just transfer it to the voters card, so everything is seamless and you don't have to do anything. You don't have to come in, you don't have to do whatever. It's just going to flow straight over. Well, the reason they're doing that is so that the legal immigrants, you won't have a chance to check them. Just give them a passport and then that's it, just transfer straight over. And you don't have a chance to double check what's going on. We need them to make everybody come in. If they're going to do this time, everybody come in and give their fingerprint. Every individual. And we need to talk to them. I need to know that you speaky English. All right? Because you shouldn't have the passport if you don't speak English. And so we have to stand up against that part of what they're doing. No way you can make this an automatic process and make it easy for all of them. No way. All right? So we're going to fix that. So I just wanted to let you all know that I got the proof. All right? And that is proof that they stole the last election. They don't want me in the house, so they will do anything to stop that. Anything. Because they don't want you empowered. All right? So let's get started. I'm going to speak, and then I'm going to bring two special persons on here. Both of them with serious land situations to talk to you a little bit. And then we're going to open the floor. Ladies and gentlemen, there's nothing in a society more important than land. Your society is the land that it exists on. Before we talk about the land, I want to talk about a little bit about your history, about the history of a people. In The Wealth of Nations in 1776, Adam Smith wrote a book, the book that created capitalism. And there's three main pillars. It's capital, it's land, and it's labor. Those three things control the economy. Capital, land and labor. Slavery was partly about labor and partly about land. I just plugged it in there. Hold on to that. I'll come back. Now, slaves started to revolt. And it became a time when it was not feasible to continue to have slaves because it didn't make economic sense. In his book, he made everyone understand that you're spending more money housing, feeding, giving medical assistance and everything else to these slaves when you could just pay them a salary and underpay them. So they can't afford the things that they actually need, the things that you were paying for. And then after years and years, when that comes to head, you start letting them live off credit. And they can't do nothing without credit. They can't buy a car without getting a loan. They can't buy a house without getting a loan. They can't go on vacation without getting a loan. You'll keep them slaves in another way. But you will save more money if you actually free the slaves. And so the freeing of the slaves was not about a moral understanding. It was about an economic understanding. Why give them free stuff when you can make them pay to buy the stuff from you? Build the economy by freeing the slaves. And everyone's like, oh. Some people didn't get it. And that's why a war had to be fought over freeing the slaves. But that was what sparked it initially. The first people to free themselves in our region with some slaves where? Awesome. A smart crowd. In Haiti, 500,000 slaves fought. A few thousand of their overseers. It took them 13 years, but finally they won. 13 years. You know what it is to fight for 13 years? 13 years? That's some determination. But they fought, and they won. And then the threat came that, listen, man, we was playing with y'all for 13 years. We coming down there, and we can make all your slaves again. We can blow y'all up, and we can kill whoever, and you can still be slaves. And the Haitian people said, okay, what can we do? They said, just pay us for what we lose by ending slavery. What were they losing? They weren't losing the slaves. They were losing the land. They were losing the most valuable sugar land in the world. Haiti was the #1 producer of sugar in the world. Learn your history. Haiti alone was producing more sugar than the 13 of the American colonies at the time. And now France was losing access to that land. Not the people. They'd already started to industrialize. And the reason they had to have so much slaves, 500,000, is because they needed a lot of labor initially to do that. But Haiti was taking away Haiti. They were taking away that land. That was doing what? Producing sugar. So they said, since you're taking that, pay us this amount. Understand? And so the Haitians decided, we go pay. Because the understanding was, we taking this land, we could pay. Now, the leaders who fought for that 13 years didn't want that to happen, but the people wanted it to happen, because they didn't want to fight no more, and they killed their own leaders, a particular one who freed them, to go into debt, into slavery. Haiti had to borrow to pay that money back. And guess who they borrowed it from? The same people they was paying. And so they went into the worst form of slavery, debt, where you worked to pay the people you owe, but you were borrowing from them to pay to them. That's what happened with your electricity bill and NIB. Focal borrowing the money from NIB to buy the fuel, to sell it to y'all, and y'all paying a fuel surcharge to pay the money back what they borrow so you could have the electricity. That's another story. Y'all stay focused. There was another country that fought to free themselves from slavery. And because of their fight, all of us were freed. Y'all talk about Haiti, but Haiti didn't get us free. They went back into slavery, into debt. There was another country that fought. It was called the Baptist War. Anyone ever heard about the Baptist War? The Baptist War. That was Jamaica. Y'all didn't know the Jamaicans fought. The Jamaicans fought. It lasted 10 days, but at that point, England realized that slavery was not tenable anymore, and the Parliament was in a panic, the economies were in a panic. They realized that this thing, you couldn't control the slaves anymore. And the next year, all slaves in the British colony was freed because the Jamaicans fought. All right? So don't ever forget the full history. The Jamaicans did. You know, us Bahamians, we wasn't fighting for nothing. He's right here. Some of you in Foxville, they didn't even know the slaves was freed. It's like, we just here working, no? We just here working. That's why Foxville Day is a week after. It's time for a paradigm shift. The reason the slaves were freed is because they kept fighting. They don't tell you about that part of it. The reason the slaves were freed is because they kept fighting, and it became untenable. You couldn't hold these people anymore because they kept fighting. Bahamas, there's a time for everything, including the time for fight. It's time to fight for our land because we're losing this. Now let's bring this home. Land is not about a place to put a house. Land is about what the land can produce. Throughout history, even from the beginning, when God gave Adam and Eve the land, he told them what was in the land, what it was good for. It bare fruit. It had the water and the onyx and the gold, and it said it was the good gold. That was under the ground. They didn't even wear gold. Why he was telling them about the good gold? Think about that. He was giving them for the future, something to benefit them. And they lost that land. The enemy caused them to lose that land. And then, what was the punishment? The land was cursed. That's about production. It's about what the land could produce. And then when the children of Israel were going over in the promised land, they looked at the land and they sent the scouts, and the scouts came back, and they didn't talk about the bridges and the buildings and any of that stuff. They talked about the natural resources. They brought back some of the fruits and said, look at this. They talked about the milk and honey. The natural resources. Okay? And so the land is supposed to produce. When God introduced tithes, they say in church, but that's part of history. When God introduced tithes in Deuteronomy 14, tithes was a tax of what the land produced. Whatever the land produced, you were supposed to give 10% of the increase. And so tithes was for those who had land and the land produced. Land is about what it produces, not about you living on the land. That is why in the documentary we did in 2020, I did calculations to show you, rough estimate calculations. But I wanted you to see that the land your house is on is more valuable than they could sell the land and the house for. While we was busy just trying to get somewhere to live, they was cutting up the land. They said, okay, we could develop this area for you. Oh, there's too much hills. Let's cut down Garden Hills. let's cut down Pinewood Gardens and make it manageable for you to come and live. It was not about selling you the house and the property. That's the gravy. That's where the big money was. That's why when they go into communities, they cut canals. They take in what is in there and selling it. When the government decided to dredge out the harbor, they wasn't doing that because they wanted big ships. They was doing that because they wanted the money from that harbor. And they piled it up on Awaki, and all of us saw all that dirt piled up on Awaki, and then it was gone. And no one thought, well, where all that dirt gone? Just like they're dredging constantly every day in Grand Bahama. Constantly. The electricity for that crane, the electricity is $1 million a month. That's what they pay in electricity. Brenton didn't own that crane, his family. $1 million a month. It's not valuable. The trucks driving around there is $8 million each in the States. Each. The trucks that's carrying the dirt. But you don't know your value. You don't know what you have. And they've been lying to you, saying that we have no natural resources. But what all them mango is I see on the side of the road? That's a natural resource. Seriously on your fence, that's a natural resource. The aloe going in your yard, that's a natural resource. The fish we fishing in every day, that's a natural resource. The salt, let's pause there. They ship out over 721,000 tons of salt. I didn't say pounds. I said tons. 1 ton is 2,000 pounds. They ship out, your calculator got problems calculating that, over 721,000 tons out of this country of salt. That salt on a wholesale value on the market, and this is from disclosures we saw from the U.S. Department when Martin Salt was doing some sales, right? The value of that salt for the salt that you consume is $500 per ton. $500 per ton. That's almost $5 billion. That's a raw value. That ain't what it sells for in the end. That's the raw value. You know how much we get for each ship of 50,000 tons that goes out? $500 for the ship. Carrying a street value, meaning when it hits the food stores, a street value of $300 million per ship. But they say we poor. They say we broke. They say everything is impossible. It's because you don't know your value. And they don't educate you about your value in school. Which class teaches you about natural resources? They don't teach you about your natural resources? No. None of your natural resources? No. They ain't teach you about limestone? No. Salt? No. Aragonite? No. Canep? No. Dilly? No. Nothing? No. Oh my God. She says we were told we had no natural resources. Our land is a natural resource. But they kept it away from us, Bahamas. Yes. Not only, let's go back. The king and queen issued lots of land. Let me tell you why they were issuing land. Today it makes no sense to us when people come up with their little documents saying they got issued 600 acres here, 1,000 acres. No, who can issue you 1,000 acres? And they're like, these people crazy. So you own the whole of Cable Beach then? Yes. So you own the whole of Chippenham? Yes. today in our mind, because we could only think about a little piece of property they cut up, we don't understand how it worked in the 17 and 1800s. A landlord is not a new term. A landlord is how the king made money. The king didn't have the technology that we have today to go and tax every single individual, to go around and go to every single house and every individual and collect a tax. That was difficult. And so to make sure the king benefited, they issued land to landlords. Sometimes it was their family members, their cronies, their people, but they issued big tracts of land to one person. He would then collect money from the persons on that land producing on that land. So if you were on that land farming, and most production was agrarian back in those days, where you farmed, etc. If you were on that land doing something, you paid the landlord. You lease from the landlord, and you paid him however he decided. If you want a piece of your profits, if he just want this amount a month or whatever, you paid that lord, and that lord would then pay something to the king. And that made it more manageable for the kings. That's where the word landlord comes from. And so even here in the Bahamas, because that was the concept back then, they would say, okay, you go, Mr. Morris, you go and you take all that tract of land right there. You, Mr. Johnson, J.S. Johnson, okay, you take all that land right there in Carmichael Road, and you do some, whatever you do, you produce or someone produce, that's yours. You go take that. And they were used to issuing big tracts of land because small tracts didn't make no sense. All right? And so that's what they did. And so now you have Bahamian families in this country that can, let's do this. But there are instances right here today where families with those tracts of lands are being disenfranchised. They're being disenfranchised. There's Half Moon Key. Who's that? Little San Salvador? Yeah, Half Moon Key. Ingram just went, it's 440 acres. Ingram just went and took it from Miss Pinder family. I've seen the documents with my own eyes. Just took it from them. Hey, there's too much land for you all. Why you know do this? We're taking that. And gave it to Disney to create Half Moon Key. They took the good beach part and left the other part. Y'all keep the bush. Y'all can't develop that anyway. The beach, we given to them. Just take it. And the thing was, sue us. Sue us. You see? There's a family called the Mingo Roll family. Y'all ever heard of that? Mingo Roll? Yeah? Okay. The Mingo Roll family has a lot of land. Not just in Nassau, but in Exuma and all over the place. Keys. And the land just started to be taken from them. Taken from them. And they know that you don't have the resources to fight. You don't have the resources to possess your land. So they just go there and take it. If I were a leader of this nation, when Disney come and say they want Half Moon Key, I would say, awesome. What you're going to do is you're going to partner with the Pinder family. You go own half, they go own half. And now we build some wealthy Bahamians who could contribute to the society, and some of the money stays here. Doesn't that make more sense? Yes. But they don't empower you. No. And so Disney might say, but we spending the $600 million to develop this. Then we can say, okay, well, where you go put that $600 million? You can't put it in the sky. You got to put it on land, right? So that land is worth more than $600 million. Because without that land, that $600 million is worth nothing. Where you go put your swing and your slide? Go put it in the air then. And then come back to me. All right? And so this is how we look to transform this nation, by empowering our people with what they have. I promise you that we are going to take back everything that they've stolen from us. And every Bahamian family, I'm saying this publicly in a town hall meeting, that has been disenfranchised, we will restore what has been taken from them. So our mission now is going to be to look in the Southern Islands and other places where there are Bahamians who own this land, and instead of taking it from them, we're going to look for investors to invest in those land and to partner with those families, including generation property. And so if you come in this country, you need land, okay, this family right here, we ain't going to do anything with them, we're going to take the land from them. We're going to say, partner with this family right here. They ain't going to deal with the business side of it. They don't know about business. You deal with the business side of it, but you need land. You use their land and you partner with them. Yeah. And now you are building wealth in this nation that the king and queen intended from all those years ago. We are going to make Bahamians lords. We are going to make Bahamians royalties. There are Bahamians walking all over this country with a bunch. There's a woman in Yellow right now. She got one tract in Eleuthera that's valued $70 million. They didn't take a piece of her property to extend the runway to the airport. They didn't take her beachfront properties and say, yeah, see $1,500, take it. Ingram. Perry. Menace and Brave. And this woman has one of her tracts is worth $70 million. And they just go in, the government just goes there whenever they want. They go shopping. They just grab this piece, take that. Grab that piece. What you could do, miss? Hold on, $1,500. Shut up. This is what is happening to Bahamians in this country. This makes me angry. I hate when Bahamians are disenfranchised. That's what makes me angry. And foreigners are coming to this country. And through a corrupt system with lawyers participating, they see an abandoned home, they identify it. I ain't talking about the illegal ones, I'm talking about the legal ones. They say, oh, that's a nice one. Oh, it's nice, that's on the beach? Okay, cool. And then the lawyer tell them, yeah, man, just go renovate it, fix it up. And then afterwards, we go to a judge. We got a judge waiting. We go to a judge, and the judge, we could tell the judge, you've been there for 12 years. And so much of the renovations you see going on in the West, they can't show you no real papers. Real papers. These foreigners taking over. Our own are selling us out. And then you have who are coming here and taking our land. Apply for the crown land, they get it like that. You couldn't get an answer. And then the children are renting to the other illegal immigrants. And then when you say something, they say, no, they rent that from Bahamians. But they mean the paper Bahamian. And I don't mean to say that, but you have to differentiate so you understand what's really going on. When they say Bahamian, yeah, technically they Bahamian, they got passport, but that's their people. We got to fix this country. The truth is, you don't own your property. You are not royalty. You are not lords. Because you have to pay to the government every month. Now, if they choose to give you a discount, that's their choice. They could say, if your property is less than $250, I'll give you a blind. I don't even want that. Keep it. But you still have to pay every year real property tax. That means you can never own your property. You can't. You always paying a rent. And guess what? If you don't pay the real property tax, what does that mean? They take it back. So that's just like renting, eh? You gotta pay, and if you don't pay, they can kick you out. So you don't own no property around here because you have to continuously pay. And that is why the COI is going to end real property tax for your dwelling place. How can you have a 70-year-old woman inherited the property from her husband, or the husband died, only her left, all she getting is a pension, and you come in the house with one big bill for real property tax? How? How? That is going to end immediately. There will be no real property tax for your dwelling place. You will own your home outright, free from anything. We have to fix this nation. Now there's this new bill that they are trying to introduce for a land registry. We've been calling for a land registry. It's been in our Vision 2025. We've talked about this before election. And so I guess they're using that as an opportunity. The new oligarchs have been taking land from Bahamians, selling to themselves for $1. Pinewood was sold to those people for $1. You saw the case that just came down with Frankie Wills and them, where they sold another, must see 2,000 acres to themselves for $1. These gangsters have been taking the land from you. They're repeating what the UBP did. The UBP, a lot of that land, they just took it. They just took it and then cut it up and sold it back to you, Ridgeland, Yellow Elder, etc. But these new oligarchs are doing things on a different level, and they're using this registry to legitimize themselves. You see, after Frankie them lose, they realized, as much power as we got, we can't depend on the court for this one. All right? So, we need to put a law in place to determine who owns the land now. Because we in power, and we can determine who owns the land on our register. Not the courts. You see, right now, the courts determine who owns land. But when you empower the government to do a land registry and determine who owns the land, they could give all the land to their boys. And a land registry means you cannot question the ownership of that land. Whoever the government says owns that, they own that. There's no question. It's over. And if there's any skullduggery, the government will be held liable. Because they have a registry and they're going to determine who owns that land. And so now, their boys can quietly come together and say, okay, this is the land, this is my land here, this is some affidavit, boom, register that under us. You're going to depend on the PLP and F&M to determine who owns land. How are you going to prove the majority of land in Nassau is in dispute? How are you going to determine who owns this land for your registry? This is another way for them to just take the land and just put it in their name, and they did it through a legal process. So all that leftover land out there that these people, these families been arguing about, they could just legitimize themselves because they, through the law, can now do it. Bahamas, you all better wake up. We ain't have nothing left. Our land is being taken away from us by our people, by the foreigners legal and the foreigners illegal. Your country is the land. You can have a people who don't have land. They have nomads. But your actual country is your land. And so we got to take this land, own it, and then put it to good use. The land in the Bahamas, by conservative estimates, are worth almost $500 billion. That's the sale value. Just selling it, not the value of what's in it. It's worth almost 400 and something billion dollars, $500 billion. That's conservative numbers. Like if you valued the crown land at just $15,000 an acre, which you know is valued more than that. That's conservative value. Couldn't you take 500 billion, all right, and it's really up to 600 billion, all right? Couldn't you take that between 400 and something to 600 billion estimate, depending on how they value certain coastal lands? Couldn't you take that and use that as collateral to actually do something we could make money from? Our debt, national debt, is 12 billion up to March of this year, right? Yeah, it's heading to 13, but up to March, it was 12 billion. That's about less than 2% of what our land is valued. 75% of the land in this country belongs to the government. Well, not belongs to the government, it's crown land. I said that wrong. All right? So you couldn't take a percentage of the value of that, monetized it, and then done some stuff that we actually need in this country. You couldn't start processing sand on the same land. Let's take this land right here, off of Eleuthera, where there's a lot of aragonite, or off of the western coast of Andros, where there's a lot of aragonite, and then let's start making glass, because the sand right there. Let's start making sheetrock with aragonite. Let's start making concrete on a major level, mix. Let's start making paint on a major level. Let's start using what we have that's right there with the same land. Why do they calculate debt to GDP and not debt to the value of what the government owns? Because they want to keep you poor. What is the GDP? The GDP isn't what the government produces. Has nothing to do with the government. But they're calculating government debt based on GDP, something that has nothing to do with them. Think about that. But if the government owns $500 billion worth of land, it wouldn't be that much because they don't own all the land. But let's say they own $300 billion worth of land, and their debt is 13, that's nothing. But our government is going to monetize that. Why can't we take a part of that, use it as collateral to buy some cruise ships, sail it around this Bahamas, and don't know nobody for the cruise ships, and then improve the economy? Why can't we buy a fleet of yachts, build some marinas in the Southern Islands, build some attractions in the Southern Islands for people who want to go on their yachts, take an excursion, some places for them to live, some over-the-water huts. They go there, we make real money. Yacht tours that people would pay even more than they would pay for a cruise. And you move the tourists around the economy. You build some stuff people want to see to cause them to want to come to the Bahamas. Yes. Using our land as collateral. But they're not using the land as collateral, and they don't want you to use it as collateral. That's why they don't give you title for generation property. That is your reparations. The slave master gave you land, which is more valuable than money. Land is more valuable. So the slave master said, the same land I was using to produce and make this money, I given you the land, the actual thing that makes the money. Think about that. I given it to you. The same cotton I put on this land, you could put on this land. But then they kill us and make sure we can't do any agriculture. They make sure we can't do business. They keep us down by not letting us use that land as collateral. Only people slip through the cracks. Chesapeake was able to use his land as collateral to borrow to be able to buy into the company that he owns. BAF. He was able to use land inherited from his generations in Exuma to be able to buy in to that company. Why can't we empower all Bahamians like that? Why only a couple people could get these opportunities? We need to empower more people, and we're going to do it with our land. I want to let two persons speak before I continue and then open the floor. But we are positioned in the mouth of America. Our land is the most valuable land in the world. Japan being positioned in the mouth of China made it the #2 economy in the world. They were wise. They leveraged their position. There were only 2 countries in world histories were not colonized, that weren't colonizers. Japan and Ethiopia. Ethiopia for different reasons. But Japan was never colonized because they were so strategically positioned that every time someone came to colonize them, the other colonizers came and said, hey, leave that alone, leave that alone. All of us need that. Don't touch that. So if France showed up and they wanted to take over Japan, Japan said, England, you see what's going on here? England said, hey, France, what you doing? Stop it. And Spain will come and say, France, hey, behave now. Don't touch that. We need that. And because they were able to leverage themselves, everyone who wanted to go to China came, and they had to refuel in Japan with coal. And so Japan got into coal selling and making business because there were steamships at the time. And then they had to continue on to get to China. And so that was an important stop in the middle there. And so the money they made, they empowered their people, not the government. They empowered their people. And by empowering their people, they became a great nation. We are going to become a great nation by empowering our people. They educated their people with knowledge, with information, with everything they need, and they started to explode. Singapore did the same thing. Singapore was in the mouth of Asia. And people would have to come there and refuel. And so they invested this day. They invested in fuel and etc. They didn't have no natural resources. And they empowered their people to the point where today 1 in 6 people in Singapore have $1 million in cash. $1 million. I didn't say worth $1 million, you know. Like when the politicians declare and they'll add up, you know, all their cars and their house and the Daily Tree and the Oxford Dictionary, and they'll say, I'm worth this amount. That's just worth. But in Singapore, they have $1 million in cash. And the other 5 homes, that's the foreigners who came in to work for them. They empowered their people, and their people build a great nation. This is the paradigm that the COI is pushing. And one of the ways you can empower your people is through land. We got plenty land. Go look at the map of Nassau. Go look at it. Plenty vacant land in the western side of Nassau. They just don't want you of it. It's right there. Plenty vacant land all over our 700 islands and over 2,000 keys. Them keys got value. I was riding, we was going from North Abaco to Grand Key the other day, and we saw the key that Jay-Z bought for his wife. Just a little gift. They just playing around with us. They just taking what our forefathers fought for and just, yeah. Just, we ain't gonna do nothing with it. We just buy it to say we buy it. Oh, we own a whole island that used to belong to the Bahamian people. Where did that money go? You ever ask that? And so our job is to empower our people with what we have. Now, some people say, y'all want something for free. Last thing I can say before we move on. Sorry, cameraman, but I gotta stress this. Someone giving you something that belongs to you is not giving you anything. The Constitution of this Bahamas made it clear. We, the people, are the inheritors of these islands and keys. It did not. Government is the inheritors of these islands and keys. The people are the inheritors of these islands and keys. Who inherited it? Not the government? Y'all can't read, man. Y'all sure that didn't say the government? So why are they acting like that's the government own? The government job is to manage it for you. They are like an executor managing an estate. Managing a probate, managing an estate. That ain't theirs. Now, they could be one of the persons that benefit from it, but they just the person who's supposed to handle it. If my daddy die and leave property for me and my 5 siblings, ain't no one can say when we come for what is ours that we begging for something, that we like free things, that we want handouts. We are the inheritors. Stop letting them fool you, because only the politicians are getting all this crown land, taking it up for them, their friends, their family, and their lovers. And then you shaking pom-poms behind them. Wake up, Bahamas. It's time to stand up and fight for this land. All we need is your ex in the right place. And this will all change. You benefiting from the natural resources of this country is not a handout. That's yours. You are royalty. I love the Rasta man them. Because when they talk to me, they call me a king. Yeah, king. They got the right idea. They leading this movement. You have to know who you are and know your value. They've been talking down to you, talking down about you. You are the royalty. Stop worshiping politicians. I hate to see people worshiping politicians. Right honorable this and that. Let me just take a little detour. The honorable title is only to be used in official capacity for ceremonial purposes. Do you all know that the members of Congress in America are also called honorable? Do you know that the senators in America are also called honorable? The governors? But you never hear them referring that in the news or when they're talking to them. That's only a ceremonial title for ceremonial purposes or official purposes. If you see a letter from a senator, it could have the Honorable Senator so-and-so. But the news don't say, oh, we have to call him their proper title. Honorable so-and-so. Oh, His Excellency. When in Britain, where we get our laws from, they'll say Tony Blair. When you watch the news, they don't say the Right Honorable, even though he is, Tony Blair. They say Tony Blair. They say Margaret Thatcher. They don't say the Right Honorable or the Honorable Margaret Thatcher, but it's because our black rulers, you give them power and they want to feel that power. They want you calling them. No. You calling me up here, you will call me by my title. Yeah. They want you to worship them because they in charge now. We'll be taking this back. And we're going to make them bow to the people. We're giving power to the people. And so, Marcus Garvey had a fight, and that was to let our people know that they didn't have to be servants. Their job was to discredit him. They couldn't kill someone like him because he was affecting the minds of the people. Millions of followers. They had to discredit him. Throw some trumped up charges on him and deport that one. Can't be in this country. Send him back to Jamaica. They put some trumped up charges on him. He couldn't fight that. Because he was affecting the minds of the people. He was telling you that the doll baby don't have to be white. And he formed a company owned by black people, let all them buy shares to make black doll babies because the other companies wasn't going to make it. And this ain't about black and white. This is about changing the mind of a people. W.E.B. Du Bois and them, the light-skinned black people, they were against him. Like, no. Let's teach them to be workers, man. Give them skills. He's like, I want them to have skills. I want them own the business. Let the people with skills come work for them. That was a different mentality. That was Garvey's mission. My role model in the Bahamas, Randall Fox, was trying to teach the Bahamian people, trying to teach you that you could actually govern this country. It doesn't have to be a white person to govern the country. Again, my message is not about white and black. It's about changing a mindset. It's like, no, you all could actually govern, you know. They were like, no, man, we never run no business. We never do this. And Pill and them never had no real job. They, okay, we like them, but they're Pill and them going with the plumber and the musician and the teacher and the taxi driver and man, these people ain't qualified, man. No. We need Roland Simmons at them. That's the man. He's the chairman of the bank. You need Stafford Sands them. That's the businessman. They own everything. You need Delbinas them. They run the country. Maybe Kelly. Yeah, let Kelly run, let them run things, man. And he had years and years fight just what we just see as normal today. You have to fight to change the people's mindset. For decades, they had to fight to just tell the people, man, listen, we could run our own country. The mission for today, the message Lincoln Bain was born with for you, is that you can own this country. You can be put first in this country. You don't have to be the labor. You can be the owners and let the foreigners come work for you. How about that? They say Lincoln don't want no foreigners. Yes, I do. I just don't want to work for them. And I don't think we got to work for them. Because I tired of them treating us any kind of how. I tired of them talking to us any kind of how. I want us to be the owners. And this message should not have to take decades for us to catch on. We should not have to die out and let our children fight for this. We should fight for this for them. All I'm saying is that we should own this land. This land and everything it produces should benefit us. And we should be put first in this country. If that's too much to ask, then go vote for them people who getting all the land and giving the rest away. Go vote for them. Because like Pinlin said, if you ain't willing to fight for this, you ain't deserve to have it. Anytime foreigners took over your land in the Bible, that was considered a curse. That's how you got cursed. For mixing up with the foreigners and what their little false god and their little false little things they just do. When you start letting them mix up stuff getting your country, you end up getting taken over. Dorian talked, but you all didn't listen. But ladies and gentlemen, we are on a mission to take back and repossess our land. Those letters are going out and meetings are happening on the family island right now where the government's saying, you all come off this crown land, we taking that back. And you could take back something from someone who owns it. The crown land is yours. The law says that the crown land is for the benefit of the Bahamian people. That's why when they give it to foreigner, they always have to show where it benefits you. That's why their plan has to say they're going to provide 200 jobs or 300 jobs. So they could play with words to say that, yeah, well, Bahamians benefiting. Exactly. A beneficial owner is someone who benefits from the profits. If you're a beneficial owner of something, if you benefit from something, you're benefiting from the profit, not a job. Someone who has a job in a company is not a beneficial owner. They're not a beneficiary. A beneficiary in an insurance plan is the person who inherits it, right? It's time for us to take over. And so the government is going to come to try to fight Bahamians on their land. That's happening. They're probably coming back on Michael Road where we are. I have no problem standing in front of tanks or tractors or whatever it is. This is a different generation. And I come with a different spirit. I am my granddaddy. He didn't know. I am my daddy. He didn't know. I blame him because he didn't know. But the difference is we know. I have to introduce a couple people, and then we're going to talk some more, and I can hear from some of y'all. Some of y'all might have had experience with land. This is your microphone today. I want the Bahamas to be educated about what's going on. This is your mic. I'm here to answer your questions. We're here to let you vent and say what has been going on. Maybe the government took some land from you. This is your mic. I want to hear briefly from my right-hand woman, Maria Daxon. Maria Daxon, join me on the stage. Go sit right there. Hey, Maria, look nice tonight, eh? Hey, Maria, where you looking out, eh? I watching you, you know. Hey, Maria, old doll, you was royalty tonight. Look at Queen Elizabeth. Man, you all take picture, man. You all take picture. You all snapping picture. You all look at Maria, use a pie. A Debbie pie. And I also am going to be joined on the stage by Mr. Dexter Edwards. Mr. Dexter Edwards is our East Grand Bahama candidate. Watch out for the mic behind you. You can have a seat right there. All right? This is a fight for existence. This is not a fight to gain government. This is a fight for our very existence as a people. If your land is gone, your country is gone. How you could have a country if foreigners own all the land? What you got? At any point, they could tell you, get lost. This is a fight for existence. So I want to have from a couple of minutes from Maria, and then I can let Dexter Edwards talk. And then we can start pulling out some documents. Someone say documents. Documents. All right, then we can start pulling out some documents. Maria, what do you think about all this land stuff that's going on, the crown land situation, how Bahamians are being ripped off, et cetera, et cetera? What you know?
Good afternoon.
Let me turn it around. I got it. There you go.
Good afternoon, my fellow Bahamians. Boy, Lincoln, you sharp. You sharp. I know a lot about the land. There's a lady out of Andras. Bahamians, I wanted to cry that day. She's about 70-something years old. The government run the land, the road through their land. And the Honorable Wayne Monroe, I'm calling him.
Call a lady name.
Mr. Wayne Monroe.
No, call a lady's name. You remember her name?
I can't remember her name. She's telling me that she went to Wayne Monroe before he won the election, and they are saying that the government owed him about $70 million for this road in Andros. What is happening, my fellow Bahamians, is that they are PLPs. And the old man died waiting for the government to compensate him. And her grandson and her great-grandson came to me with the mother. She started to cry because she's sick. I'm calling on Brave Davis this afternoon. He needs to bring this matter to resolve.
That's his PLP.
His PLP. The woman is a PLP. I could see she was. He needs to bring this matter to resolve.
That's his.
I could.
It's a Bahamian.
Yeah.
We don't care.
The tears came to that woman's eye. Even the Orteg Basin, all of that land, it was Crown grant. And there's a difference between the Crown grant and Crown land. Lincoln is correct. The Queen of England had allocated a lot of these lands to families. And apparently the PLP is the biggest land thief in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. The PLPs are the biggest land thief in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. I want to tell Brave Davis something publicly today. You see that land that we own off Carmichael Road? That in Crown land. And I want to let him know something. I can't call his advisor name. His advisor told me that land don't belong to the government. So Brave Davis, y'all stay off the land. If y'all don't have the papers for the land, just stay off of it. Too much thieving going on with the people's land. Enough is enough. And Lincoln, we have to do something. Because it is sad to know that we have a government in place, know that they don't own the land. And the number boys now are buying out your land. Y'all better watch them lands. The people are calling me. There's only so much I could do. Only so much Lincoln could do. We need a land crew in this country to go help these people to fight the land, Lincoln. Every day in my office, I'm tired getting calls. I had to make a run up in the Berry Islands and all. The white people, them are all over this place, touching upon the Bahamian people land. But you know me, I just go to the police station and say, hey, tell them don't let me come back. Stay off the people's land. So Lincoln, yes, this is a fight. It's a real fight. And to know that they're going to steal your land. Lincoln ain't like, how you could take somebody's land and put it into the land registry and you ain't own the land? But you know what is happening? Trust me, England have our records, you know. The British have this record, and if push come to shove, Lincoln, I'm going to be writing the King of England and ask him to tell us to send the documents to who owned what land and what land did y'all give to the Bahamian government. Because this is enough is enough. They took advantage of our great-grandparents and our grandparents who couldn't read. You understand? They took advantage of them, and you know they used to have to sign those X, the things. They took advantage of them and cylindered them that know better, you know. All those white oligarchs know better. Enough is enough. We're not going to let them take advantage of our children and our grandchildren now. Oh, but I want them to go touch upon my land, my people's land. I'm going to fight them. Because you're going to bring me some documents to say how you get this land. So Lincoln, tonight, and to the Bahamian people, we got to stand up now. And we got to look out for each other. If you all know a land belongs to a family member and you see somebody else coming, you need to call them. And Bahamians, Lincoln said something that a lot of people don't have the means and the resources to part of the land. But I want to tell the Bahamians, God said use what you got. You remember the rocks? You take the rocks and you part of your land. And the same rock put in the yard, you all need to part it off. And I remember while working in the Supreme Court, this white guy was trying to claim the man land. And they was in the front of the land. And the judge I worked with, she was smart. The grandson keeps saying, listen, this is my grandfather's land because I remember certain things. And I remember, you all know what the white people did? They had all the grass in the front. And that judge was smart. She said, you know something? The government will hire a tractor. Do you believe when they hit in the middle there? Just so the boy described how he used to play, all the blocks, and how his great-grandfather built up the blocks. And she's like, hold on a second. She said, but why you all lie and tell us you all had control over all of this all the time? The boy was able to say they are lying. And as a result, that land was turned right back over to the rightful owners. And that's what we need to start doing. Be our neighbor's keeper. In the family island, when they come, you all know who own these. Look here, you all know everything in the family island. You all know who to own the land. Look out for your people, because the white people is going to come and take these land. It don't belong to them. Like Lincoln say, let's negotiate. This is a generational thing, you know. God leave this here for the Bahamian people to benefit. Lincoln, are you telling some truth? When the Queen of England left here, she said, I leave everything for the Bahamian people. Everything for the Bahamian people to benefit. You see all this Raganite and everything? That's the Bahamian people things. That's why I like to say, what y'all doing with our things? The government ain't, y'all ain't own nothing. These is our things. She left it here for the benefit of the Bahamian people. Huh? We never paid no taxes, you know. Huh? Freeport, Grand Bahama. All that Aragonite was able to take in his whole entire Bahamas. Huh? But why now you're putting taxes on the Bahamian people? And guess what? The more they take out, the richer they get. Watch this now. They spreading, you know. They are spreading. So what are y'all doing with all of this money? Why take our things out of this country on the Bahamian people? And guess what? The more they take out, the richer they get. You know, spreading. So what are y'all? I take our things out of benefit. Saddens me. Drop some in my spirit being. They rather other people benefit than the Bahamian people benefits. Y'all ain't picking up, eh? They rather take from us and give the other people that they don't care. They don't care about the Bahamian people. Leave everything here. Why y'all can't love us? Huh? Let us benefit from everything that you're all taking out of this country. Huh? Look at this BPL bill. How many persons in your light bill going up? Huh? How much? And watch the money. It's coming out of this country. Why? It can't stay here to benefit us. Just love us. But they're taking away from us. And they're giving it to the other people. And they rather other people benefit and we suffer in this country. But enough is enough, you know. Enough is enough. Huh? Bahamians, we got to start to pray these people out of parliament, you know. We get some foot soldiers, but we need some prayer warriors now. Huh? We need some prayer warriors on the ground to say, hey, we need some people going down on their knees and cry out to God for the injustice that is happening. You think COI can do it by ourselves? We need some help. We need God to help us out. Huh? And when we start crying out, you better start to cry out, you know. Huh? Your landowners who they taking some stuff from, you better start to cry out. See, we can help out, you know. We get tired. Huh? Trust me, sometimes we get tired. I can't move. But we need some strength. And we cannot win this unless we have the people behind us. You know what I say, my fellow Bahamians? We need the people to come. We need the prayer warriors. We need the people who's going to go down on their knees and say, God, enough is enough. Huh? And I want, anytime you see me and Lincoln being on COI fighting for the Bahamian people, I want y'all to be behind us to pray us through. Huh? To ask God to cover us. Huh? Because things have to change in this country. Huh? And if it don't change, our children and our grandchildren is going to suffer. Huh? And we got to take some stuff back. Huh? What is rightfully our own. So, I want to say good afternoon to my fellow Bahamians. And God bless you all. God keep you all. And God, let God shine his face upon all of us as we fight to take this country back. And a vote for the COI is a vote for change in this country. It's a vote for empowerment in this country. It's a vote to go and reclaim everything what they stole from us. It needs to stop in this country. And we, the Bahamian people, got to stand together to put a stop to this. So good afternoon, my fellow Bahamians.
Before I introduce Mr. Edwards, I want to show you all something. Producer, put your asset on the screen that says KFC. Put that on the screen, please. Asset that says KFC. Y'all see that? How much the two-piece chicken, which they used to call the snack box, was costing? This is from a Bahamian paper. The dinner box was the three-piece. How much was that? Five-piece? The nine-piece? The 15-piece family box. The 21-piece. That 21-piece must use before. The 21-piece. That 21-piece must use before. Yeah. That two pieces with 8 something, I don't know. For the 2-piece? 8 something? Now the difference is back in the day you used to get the big fry with it. And big chicken. And the big drink. The reason I'm showing this to you is because if we don't wake up and start owning this country, we could get left behind. Capitalism uses inflation as a tool for profit. You have to continuously increase prices in order for capitalism to make sense. And that keeps you in the working class and out of the ownership class because you can never catch up. No matter how much you save, you can't catch up. Because the money you save today will be worth far less in the future. And so savings is actually squandering, wasting. Your money, because of time, is being devalued. I did some research in the 1940s when my dad grew up. And a piece of property, a house on 10 acres, 6 bedrooms, and it even said, something revolutionary at the time. It had a kitchen. Kitchen used to be outside. It was like $2,500. You could buy property in the Bahamas with $15 back in the day. You could get it with a coconut tree planted on the yard, but $15. But that's what a mansion in those days was costing. So if someone had come to my dad at the time and said, I'm going to give you a $10,000 life insurance, he would say, wow, that'll buy a mansion for the 4 of my children. Yes, I'll do it. When he died in 2002, $10,000 could barely bury him, let alone buy us our mansion. If we do not become owners, we're done. As long as you are on a salary, you are a slave. You will never catch up. You don't determine what you are paid. The slave masters who freed the slaves did it so that they could underpay the slaves. You're going to always be underpaid. That's why your money could never stretch. They will always make society so that you could never catch up. Will we want our people to be the ones on top? Because that's how every society should be. All right? So I wanted to show you all that so that y'all could understand the graveness of the situation. We are already reaching the point where you can't afford a 1-bedroom apartment. This is critical, These politicians patting themselves on the back, but this country isn't working for us. When a 1-bedroom apartment is now $1,500 to $1,800, you're in trouble. You can't afford grocery. The packing boys telling me they don't see full trolleys no more. People don't need them. People saying, I'll carry it. I got it. I have this habit when I go to the food store. If an elderly person is in the front or in the back of me, I pay for their grocery. I've been doing that for many, many years. I've seen some tears. That's one of my ways to give back. And the parking boys, all them know me. They just come running. When I walk in the door, they just come running to get to me first. Because my way to give back is to tip the Bahamian parking boys at least $20. And they come running for that. But I didn't say that to talk about my charity. I said that to say that I see so much tears, and that's what started me doing that. And I still see it. I see the stress on people's face as the cashier is cashing. And I see people starting to grab stuff to put stuff back. And sometimes I'll say, I get it. She said, I can keep it? No, I can get the whole thing. And I had so much tears on my good clothes. Lipstick and makeup, I can't explain because they just grab you and... Because people are hurting. I saw a white elderly man and an Indian elderly man. I can't explain this. I didn't ask them their business. But they literally, their budget was $100 and they was putting stuff back. I don't know them. I got their stuff for them. But we are not going to be able to keep up. We've already reached the breaking point. You can't pay your electricity bill, the basic stuff you can't afford. Grammy them used to make a couple dollars spread with HR, and I don't know how they did it. We got to fix this country for our people, y'all. That's what this is about. This ain't about PLPF and MCOI. This is about a Bahamian people. I want to introduce you to a gentleman I love and appreciate. It's Mr. Dexter Edwards. He's a straight talker. He's a straight shooter. If he see you doing something he don't like, he could tell you. You ain't got to worry about that. And then he love you later, but yeah, he can tell you what he feels. And this is the kind of people you need around you. He called me and say, Mr. President, you could have said this like that. I said, yeah, but I said this like that because, no. I am telling you that you could have said it like that. The Lord says, I say, you finished? I got to go. And then I do what he say. Because he's doing it from a genuine place. And you could respect people like that. He's a contractor. He's always out there helping people, doing as much as he can for people. And he's a man with a good heart. I remember one time at our convention, boy, he had everything to say, boy. He was the man. he was objecting. I want to see this and I want to see that. I don't like this, I don't like that. And then I appointed him to our executive. I said, use what I need on our executive. And I actually appointed him to the executive. Most leaders don't have the integrity to be able to put people who will come and question them. They can mash them down. But what I did with him was I elevated him. Because you cannot improve as an organization, you cannot improve as a person if you don't have the people around you who are going to help to better you. And I'm saying that, and you're talking about his qualifications, which he does have. I'm telling you about his character. And so this is our man for East Grand Bahama, and he needs to win. I need him in the House of Assembly. So East Grand Bahama, you all been neglected for too long. You have too much potential to be in the state that you are in. We should be ashamed of the way we have kept East and West Grand Bahama. But East Grand Bahama, a man is here, a contractor, ready to build that place up. Ready to transform that with the vision that we have for East Grand Bahama. It's time for us to do something different. I am so ashamed of us celebrating Carnival, opening something to make money off of us. We bragging and happy about them making money. I mean, and they just brainwash us. They put that chip in our forehead, and we just say, oh, thank God. Master is going to make lots of money. The taxi driver said, what, 4,000 people came. I think they say 4,000 at least was there. What it was, 9,000? What it was?
9 ships came in and over 4,000.
Okay, well, if it's 9 ships, that's way over 4,000. There's 3,000 should come on each of them. But 9 ships came in, and 7 taxis got a job. That's the part they ain't telling you. Because they ain't trying to let them people come from there. They want them to stay there. 9 ships came in, 3,000 per ship, and 7 taxis got a job. Wouldn't it be better if we had owned that port that is on our land? Yes. Or if we had made them partner with us? So at least those taxi drivers would get a dividend from their sovereign wealth fund. Dr. Edwards, land.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Evening to you all. Yes, I'm Dexter Edwards, for candidate for East Grand Bahama. I am.
Turn your mic on. Your mic. That's fine. Okay, I got it. Okay, you good.
Yes, I am Dexter Cedric Edwards, the candidate for East Grand Bahama. And I do believe that the season is ripe. I do believe that the time has come, and the time is come for change. I do believe that strongly. Mr. President, it's a real fight. It's a real fight, but it's a fixed fight. It's a fixed fight. Because when we're talking, I just want to speak a little on the land situation. When we're talking about land, and I always resort to spiritual laws while we look at the laws of our land. The spiritual laws speaks of a time and a season, a fixed time and a season, when the land shall be returned to the people. A fixed time and a season when the debts shall be canceled. Scripture speaks to this. And this is the time frame of God. Now, this time frame that the scripture speaks of for the people of God is called Jubilee. The Bahamas claim to experience its 50th year, which is supposed to be Jubilee. We know when Menace was in power, Menace had a little talk of Jubilee. Because Menace began to say, it's the people's time. Because Jubilee truly means it's the people's time. It's the people's time to prosper. It's the people's time for the land to be returned to them, to be restored. It's the people's time for debt cancellation. So he was talking a little bit of Jubilee, but he never embarked on it. In came Brave Davis, and the first thing Brave did as an agent of Satan, I say this without any apologies. The first thing Brave did as an agent of Satan was to try to block Jubilee, this fixed season, by taking away the sovereign wealth funds. Because the sovereign wealth funds also speaks to Jubilee. Now, what Brave is talking about? Brave is talking about the same subject of touching the land. And so he wants to tax the land. So when he taxes the land, and he taxes your crown land, he taxes your farmland, and if you cannot pay for it, they take it from you. Jubilee is talking about returning it to you. So we know Satan is always in rebellious to what God wants. And so that's why I said Brave Davis is an agent of Satan. Because he is in rebellion to what God wants. God truly wants for the Bahamas to experience Jubilee. For two reasons. We claim to be a righteous nation or a godly nation. We claim to be a Christian nation. And because we claim to assign ourselves with God, God has the responsibility to ensure that Jubilee comes to us. Because this is on his timetable. Okay? I don't want to preach. So I'm going to talk a little on, I want to shift, and I want to say this. Every great man or woman, whether it's in economy, whether it's in politics, whether it's in business, whether it's in arts and culture, every great man or woman of influence, they must have authority from a higher spiritual power. You must be getting your authority from a higher spiritual power. So I encourage all of my colleagues in the COI, let us tap into our power. Brave Davis is tapping into a power. They are tapping into a power. We possess the higher power. Let us tap into our power. Because what takes place in the spirit realm dictates to the natural realm. It dictates to the natural realm. So I want to say to all of you, my colleagues, this is where our strength is. Our strength is not politically. Our strength is not politically. Our strength is spirit power. Do not forsake your authority of prayer. Your strength lies there. Now, yes, after you done pray, you get up and get to action. Because it's already done. It's already done. I came here today loaded with some information because we're talking on land. Okay? My family has given me the power of attorney to deal with some lands in our family. Okay? And I'm talking about plenty land. Right here in Nassau. I'm talking about over 12,000 acres of land. Right here in Nassau. I have the documents with me, and as soon as Mr. President tells me I could show the documents, I will show it. Now. But I have the documents with me. And I don't want you to think that those of you who may be watching, don't try to come to rob me, because this is just a copy. Hey? So don't try to rob me over a copy. Okay? This copying will do you no good. First of all, it's an official document. It's by the courts. It was passed down by the courts. If you know anything about these type of documents, we have. Let me tell you what it has on it. I'm not going to give you the name because we don't want them touching it. But this document was recorded in June of 1988, but these properties was way back to the 18th century. This particular document was recorded in the Register of the Bahamas in 1988. And it says, lodge for record. This particular document was recorded in the Register of the Bahamas in 1988. The lodge record, and it gives the page number. Okay? It gives the administrator of the estate. It also has the seal and the stamp of the court on it. And these documents, you know, when you see this ribbon means it's real. There's the real ribbon. This is just a copy of the ribbon. It's real. Okay? It is certified already. And it's land over 12,000 acres of land. All of these, I just want to name off a few of them. The first one here, it speaks to the location where it's at. And then it says 600 acres. The second one speaks to the location again, 600 acres. The third one speaks to the location again, 250 acres. The fourth one, 160 acres. The fifth one's 174 acres. 6, 160 acres. It goes on. 100 acres. 550 acres. 295 acres. 312 acres. 465 acres. 364 acres. The smallest one on this page is 25 acres. It goes on. 500 acres. 2,000 acres. 2,000 acres. 47 acres. 100 acres. 1,000 acres. Number 20 says 500 acres. 200 acres. 200 acres again. 60 acres, including 2 keys. That is not in this. 2 keys. I will not call the keys because the keys is here too. I will not call the keys. But 2 keys. 505 acres. 200 acres. 600 acres, 120 acres. This is a legal document. 40 acres, 20 acres, 200 acres, 200 acres. And then the last part says, an interest in land situated on other family islands that are in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas in acreages that are unknown. This is one family. So what I am saying is the fight is real. Now let me tell you something about this particular family. They were threatened by numerous prime ministers. One of the family members was killed, and his wife dread right to the very day that we should not touch the land because her husband was killed over it. This land goes all the way back to, like I said, the 18th century. And we have documents upon documents to show you how it was passed down to the family. But all of these government says that this particular family has too much land and they will get it over their dead bodies. They have taken portions of the land. They have taken portion of the land and they decide that they're going to make it some type of community park. They have taken some portion of the land and they have built government facilities on it without paying the family $1. Without giving the family an exchange piece of land. Now we know that the law states that the government can take a land to do government facilities, but they have to compensate you having the land appraised and giving you the fair amount that the land has been appraised for. But none of them has done that. And this was under the FNM, it was under the PLP, consecutive government came and did the same thing. We are not the only one. They have done this to many families. People like Brent Simonet have stolen land. And we have documents that they have stolen land. We have documents that they received the land by forgery. And what we want them to understand is that when it comes down to forgery, the time frame on that doesn't end. If the lawyer could tell me, okay? The time frame on forgery, I can come back to you 100 years later if you get that land by forgery and you have to pay me because you receive it through forgery. A lot of people are hurting in this country. They are wealthy Bahamians, but they are living as paupers when they are wealthy because our governments who we elected to represent us, they keep their foot on our necks. They keep holding us down. And what they're doing, they're giving the land to their cronies. They're giving the land to their lovers. They're giving the land to their supporters. And so they'll tell you, they know they don't own the land, but they'll say, go over there and take that, that's crown land. They know it's not crown land. But simply a amount of land like this, for us to have to fence in all of this land, you're talking about millions of dollars just to secure the land. So if we have to say fence in all this land to say take possession of it, you're talking about millions of dollars. And many other families are just like that. The Reese Chipman family and other family, they came up and they talk about when I hear the lady from Reese Chipman family came on, is it you? Was your family? Okay, came on alive. And she began to say how they stole properties from their family. I say, miss, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. When I hear people like the Johnsons are talking about how the government is trying to suppress them, I know what they're talking about. Because they are doing it. The fight is real. Our government has become our state enemy. They have become the enemy of the states. Instead of them doing what they ought to be doing to uplift the people, to build up the people, to cause the people to advance, a wealthy people will produce a wealthy nation. But instead of making their people wealthy, they keep their foot on the necks of the people and keep them down. And so wonder why they have to be struggling to collect taxes. Because if the people don't have no money to pay the tax, how you expect for them to pay tax? You and I don't have no problem paying tax as long as we have the money's coming in. If the cash cow is there, if the cash cow is there, we wouldn't have a problem paying tax. But they just keep the people down. So I'm saying to you, Bahamians, we have to pull together. We have to stop thinking these F&M and PLP colors and all of this foolishness. We have to pull together. Because don't you think for one moment, when they touch me, they ain't gonna touch you later. Don't you think for 1 minute, they only gonna touch a certain set of people, and they ain't coming at your doorstep. They are coming for all of us. And like I say again, brave agent of Satan. And also when they talk about this quiet title act that they brought in place, that's all it is. It's the thiefing title act. That's all it is. They try to pretty it up so we don't figure out the words, but all it is the thieving act to steal properties from people. And they have been doing it. So they look to come into power because they see the cash cow in the land. They see the cash cow in the land. We must pull together. We, the COI, we are calling on the Bahamas. We are calling on Bahamians. We must band together, or else we are going to lose our country. We are going to lose our nation if we don't band together. I don't want to have much more to say, so I don't want to take too much of what your logo stands for. I say, yeah. I said, that's a splash. He said, no, that ain't a splash. He said, that ain't a splash. He said, no, that ain't a splash. He said, that ain't a splash. He says, that's the blessings. That's raindrops of blessings. That is showers of blessing. And I called Madam Chairman. And I said, Madam Chairman, the Spirit of God just tell me that what we call a splash ain't a splash. It is showers of blessings. God is about to shower his blessings down on this nation. The shower of blessing is going to out the torch. The showers of blessing is going to flood out the crowds. God has ordained us for this season to shower his blessings upon us. And I even got a song for it. Many of you know the song. Showers of blessings we need. Mercy drops falling around us, but for the showers we plead. We need the showers of blessings sent from the Father above. Yes, we need the season. We need this season's refreshing. This is the promise of love. Showers of blessings we need. Mercy drop was falling around us, but for the showers we plead. That's what the people is calling out for. It's calling out for the showers. It's calling out for God's showers of blessings. And this is that season of Jubilee. And we shall experience the showers of blessings. God bless you.
Amen. Amen. Someone asked me, who are these COI candidates? You can find out in a minute. These are real qualified Bahamians who are ready for change. Y'all like Dex Edwards? I think he's going to do very well for the people of East Grand Bahama. This is the kind of Bahamian that we need in the House of Assembly. All right? And so, yeah, we can need contractors to help us build a new House of Assembly. Because we ain't going in that one. We could turn that into a museum. Yeah. We could open up in there, but we could build another one and turn this one into a museum. Yeah. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to see one video. I want to put this in your spirit before I open up to the person's here. And I'm going to call the Mingo Roll family. Once you play this, yeah, they're here. So you could hear from them. The amount of property that he talked about, Nassau, New Providence, and the Keys right around it, Paradise Island, etc., is 98,560 acres. 98,560 acres. So when y'all heard him saying 100 acres here and 600 acres there, that's nothing. It's 98, so 100,000 acres. For us. 100,000 acres. Man, if we get some of the people to go on the family islands like our plan is, everyone can get an acre in Nassau. Yeah. And so that's 100,000 acres. All right? I just want to put that in perspective because they don't ever say these numbers for you because they don't want you thinking about how much is there for you. And if you look, go on Google Maps and look at Nassau, you can see that most of it is vacant. Most of it is bush. Don't let them tell you we out of space. They just don't want you on the good land. When you study economics, there's a way that you develop land, all right, in economics. And the first thing you do is develop a city, and that develops organically. Not much planning goes into it. And you cram up everyone there, and you have the beneficial city, and then not too far from it, you have the people who are going to be the slaves, the workers, the servants, to work that city, all right? And that's where you get your bean towns, etc. All right? Every city, every big city develops like this. Then they find an area that's suburbs that's off from where these people could afford to live because they don't have transportation, etc., to move around easy. So that area is new and developed, organized, and in such a way that it's good to live there. And that's what we did with out east. All right? And so you develop in the east first. This is an old strategy of how they develop areas. And then they preserve a part of it, and they put the even more wealthy people in that part that they're preserving, and then they keep a lot of that area preserved. And that's what we did with the West. Normally south of where you have those cities, where you had the workers, etc., you start developing cheap, organized areas for them. All right? And then they will start to move in there. And that's what happened to us with Yellow Elder and Pinewood and those areas south of them. Nassau, in most people's minds, didn't go past Wolf Road. Wolf Road was the southern part of Nassau. Watch how they it's developed in a similar way. And now the New Providence Development Company and all them, they holding on the properties out there. That's the good stuff. The Crown land in the south by where Albany and all them is, they holding on that. They don't want you thinking about that. And so black Bahamians noticing down there on the Wellfields, Carmichael Road, that broke their system. They didn't expect us to wake up. You were driving past that for years and not noticing. You just drive, that's just bush. You even never think that, well, I could buy a piece of this. You never even thought of that. That chip was so programmed in your head, you never thought, man, I wonder who I could buy a piece of this property from. You just ignored that and drove past it. Because you wait for them to develop property and then you buy a piece of what they developing. We drove past the western tip of Paradise Island for years and never knew that was Crown land. Tell Toby got in a fight with them. We never knew that that valuable piece of property right there was Crown land. They don't let us think on that level. We're just thinking of how they could cut this up and develop us and give us peace, master. When all the land is yours. 75% of the land in the Bahamas is Crown land. That's your land. The question is what we could do with that. All right? And that's why they had to bring the defense force when we went out there. They never bring the defense force to the legal immigrants because they ain't no threat. But if we ever wake up and realize that we could possess this land, that's a problem. And all of a sudden, they have tanks. They got the biggest machine gun. They don't use these machine guns on the criminals who got AK-47. They bring the biggest machine gun, got grenades strapped to them, all these things for us, for Bahamians, for little old me. What y'all scared of? Wake up, Bahamas. We can educate you some more today on Crown land and what you do with Crown land. The clip, they actually played the wrong clip in the beginning when they was talking about anger, but I'm glad they played that. Because it's time for us to get angry. And Dr. Miles is right. You never follow someone who's not angry. Pinland was angry. Martin Luther King was angry. He quit the church. Martin Luther King was a pastor, you know. Y'all didn't know that, eh? Y'all thought he was a civil rights activist? He was an actual pastor. He was only a pastor for 5 years because the church was beating him down so much. They told him he was out of order for what he was doing. They said, no, you don't behave like that. You wait your time. You don't go out there and block up the roads. If they say don't eat in the restaurant, don't eat in the restaurant. What you doing? That's out of order. What kind of pastor are you? He said, okay, well, I quit. Because he felt that what he was doing was for God. There's a clip called Miles Land. Play that one.
The people of this nation need land. The first thing that God gave Adam was not a woman, but land. And the first thing God told Adam to dominate was not a woman, but land. And the first command God gave Adam was to manage real estate. He says, cultivate this garden, develop this garden. And the first command God gave the man was, be fruitful. He did not say, be seedful. Why? Because God already provided the seed. What did Adam lose? When Adam mismanaged that property and gave it over to an unemployed cherub, when he committed treason before God and he disappointed God, what did God do? The first thing God did was kicked him out of the real estate. And then to show you how important land is to God, the Bible says, and then God put a cherubim with a sword to protect the property from the man. If this nation is going to be rebuilt, and if you're going to restore the dream and the aspirations of the graveyard of the people that are buried all over this country, 1.6 million people who have not been allowed to dream and pursue their dream, if you're going to see those dreams come to pass, then my first advice is you must reclaim land. I want to challenge the government of this great country to seek out legislation Ask God for wisdom to develop policy so that there will be a balance brought back to the nation and fairness and justice in regards to land. A nation is not just people. Read your Bible. God told Moses, these people are slaves, Moses, but I'm going to create a nation out of them. Now, when God creates nation, it works. So you got to follow his pattern. The first thing he says is, I will make you a nation. Then the second thing he says is, there's a land. There's no nation without land. No matter how much freedom you give me, I need land. No matter what rights you give me, I need land. Don't give me policies. I need land. I can't develop if I don't have land. I can't manifest if I can't have land. I want to be productive, but I need land. It's unfair for me to control the land that God made for people to be productive in if I don't develop it myself. Namibia could be healed, but it has to be the people of this nation.
That man was speaking in Namibia. And he was spreading that message all over Africa. He actually owned gold mines. This man is more powerful than many of you could even imagine. Many of you just know him as a preacher. I got to travel with him, and I got to see how important he was to even world leaders. You'll be sitting next to him, and world leaders are calling him for advice on stuff that's in the news. Disputes that you watch on CNN, they calling him to ask him his advice. And he's there just casually interrupting dinner to talk to world leaders. He had good wisdom for these world leaders. Solve problems around the world. That message wasn't for Namibia. That message was preached in Namibia and other places because Bahamians weren't listening. There were some messages he preached, and he said, I said, Dr. Miles, we in Europe, why are you preaching this here? You need to preach this in the Bahamas. He said, Lincoln, they ain't ready. And they're not ready because they are deceived by the politicians. And they can listen to whatever the politicians tell them who are tricking them. It's time for us to own the land. So I'm going to open the floor now. This is the last in our series. But moving forward, we're taking a 2-week break. And then moving forward after that, all of my lives, you're going to be allowed to come and witness them. Just a little better than sitting down watching it on a little phone, right? Yeah. Any of my lives moving forward, we're going to have here in studio, and you're going to be able to come and be a part of it, to speak your piece, to hear it live, to ask your questions, etc. We want this to be interactive because we set out on a mission to educate the people. Evolution, sometimes called revolution, does not happen until the people are educated. It starts with education. And that's why our mission was not to go out there like other parties and try to say we're going to be better than them. It was just to open your eyes. Because if the people don't listen to us, someone whose eyes we open, they're going to listen to. But our job was to open your eyes. I ran into Brian McCartney, it was yesterday, in the food store. And he was like, Lincoln, I don't know how you do it. He's like, no matter what they throw at you, you keep coming. It's like you just keep moving forward. It's like you're like the Energizer Bunny. Hey, who you calling Bunny? But he says he's hoping that the people are ready this time. But he says clearly out there the people are listening now. And he says it's because you brought the facts. You didn't just say, vote for us, we could be better than them. You brought the facts and people can trust you. And I told him, I can't take the baton from you and then go easy. I have to go all out. When you grab the baton, you break off running with all your might. And so I broke off running, I break off running with all my might. I ain't care about the wind and waves and what's happening all around me. My eyes on the prize. And the prize is the new Bahamas. The prize is to empower all of our people. Every single one. No Bahamian will be left behind. And so I want to open the floor. I want to bring Mingo up here first. I call you Mingo. Yeah, man, that man inside is a billionaire. And there's some heavy papers in his hand. The two, come stand with your cousin. Come stand with him. Yes, sir. I don't know if I can lift this. There's some heavy papers. Hold on. They got to hear you. This Exuma.
Exuma
From where?
from Peace and Plenty straight to KFK. That's one section.
That's one section. Hold on, Mike. Right here. Hold on, that's some sound over here. Some sound over here. Yeah. Yeah, that's good for you. Hold on. What are you looking at? Okay.
No,
Documents.
That's
Coat of arm and steel and...
no, that's the document for the hotel, Emerald Bay, in Exuma.
What you mean Emerald Bay and Exuma?
That's on our land.
How do you put a hotel on your land?
You can ask them. And this year is
Hey. That's your hotel.
they can't carry it.
And if someone missing bill on your house, on your property, that's your house? Okay.
That's right.
This is the map. Okay, what else you got here?
You got the
Talking to Mike.
right now you got the Morstown Airport
Morstown Airport?
on our land
Where's Morstown?
in Exuma.
We're trying to extend the airport now
On who property?
on our property.
Mango Road.
They trying to extend the airport on your property, okay.
I show you evidence. There ain't no back here. Get a picture.
This is actually
This is like Granddaddy Lemuel Paul Roll,
Florence Road.
the representative of the state of Mango Roll.
Hold on, I a roll from Exuma. I rich too?
Yeah, you rich too. Do you know how much roll you got have in the Bahamas?
Yeah, hold on.
Hold on, don't lose that. Do you know how much roll you have in the Bahamas?
Okay.
For 35,000?
Wow.
All right.
Okay. He's showing me papers.
Papers.
Any of the prime ministers see these papers from y'all?
They scared to see us.
They actually know the land is ours. They actually know the land is ours. They've been stealing from us before I was born, okay?
Y'all have any of this in court? Anything in court now?
This is actually registered. Chester Cooper, you remember the facility woman who was trying to do the work on Sharon's Bakey? Yeah. I'm the one who ran from there 9 years ago. They're trying to bring her back. That's not going to happen, okay?
They was trying to build on your key, on your key. Go ahead.
This where the airport is now in Morstown. Samuel Freeman, 40 acres. Recorded by you. See recorded by? Mango, Mr. Mango Road.
Yeah.
Your camera can show this thing like. And let the people them see.
Yeah, this whole document.
1847. 1847. And the roll and the Smith is one of the same.
Even, yeah, it's the full thing. document from back in the day.
1847.
Even the urban situation, people at Grand Bahama is actually on our property.
Yeah. Thank you, Bishop.
The Oban.
Urban.
East End.
Talking to Mike so the people online can
All
hear.
right.
He said the Oban and he said that's on their property.
The 500-acre tract. That's a 500-acre tract. And we could go in Abico,
Abaco too?
George Smith, Abico, 80 acres.
I see
One,
it.
all right. These are Crown Grant, and these the people from some of the plot of the land with Mingo Road, Fox Ground, all of them. In Exuma.
Yes. Talking to Mike.
Lincoln, I need to find out from them if any of that land is still vacant.
Yes, a lot of land, yes.
You could go on,
Almost always is
you
vacant.
go on Google it to see everything. You know, there was a map floating around here the other day with the Mingo Road family map that I put out there. That's all the way in England, okay? And the government knows that is our land. They've been stealing, like I said, they've been stealing from our family before I was born. That's the reason why I say COI to the world and beyond.
A lot of what they stole is actually registered in England, but they're disappearing from the Bahamas.
Thank you very much.
They intentionally take it out so that you
Yeah.
can't prove.
Yeah.
Then they come to you and say, where are your papers?
Yeah.
If you ain't got your papers, get off this. You ain't got no papers for this. You're all trying to thief land. And they accuse you of doing what they doing. I know when we went on the land in Carmichael Road,
Yes.
before we moved, see, they should know me by now. I don't move unless I have evidence and proof.
Thank you.
And I always got a plan A through Z. And so when I saw that the government didn't own this land,
That's
and I
right.
saw that there were a couple of people with claims to parts of this land, I actually went to Lands and Survey
Yes.
and got the papers from them. Got them to sign it
Yeah.
and show that it was certified, and then I kept it.
Thank you.
And then we made our move. And I was sitting down there with all our hard mouth telling them, if this your land, come.
That's right.
Come, we could be here waiting. They didn't know we had.
The documents.
And so I say, come. Because we had, what they did was they moved the papers from Lands and Survey.
Yes.
And they didn't know I already had it certified from them.
Yes. Yes.
So when the surveyor came there, he said, well, we didn't see any papers. This is Nurse. The surveyor, his name is Nurse. He's Jamaican. He said, well, we didn't see, because Davis' new trick is he's trying to grant the land. They're not trying to prove they own it. They're trying to grant it to his cronies, his PLP
Nice.
cronies, so that they could use the grant as ownership. But you got to show where the government owned it before to grant it.
Thank you.
So, but that's Davis' trick, what he doing now. He letting PLP cronies do it. And so when they came, Nurse said, well, I did it because I didn't see any markings. I didn't see, and they move them. I didn't see any one here, and we didn't see the papers in the Lands and Survey. I said, yeah, that's because you all move it. I said, but I got the papers right here.
That's what they
Thank you.
See it here. See it here.
Thank you.
And I went to Miss McDonald at Lands and Survey.
yes.
And I said, Miss McDonald, see it here. So bring your tanks and your tractors and whatever you all got, bring it back.
Yeah.
This is something worth fighting for the Bahamian people.
That's right.
They just don't want everything to do good for you all. They don't want you to have nothing. Go ahead. But I think you all get the point. What has been your experience? So it seems like it's government allowing this stuff to happen, working with these foreigners to make this happen? Talk in the mic now.
It's actually the government, because I've met people who say they've done research for the government, and when they do, they were asking them to hide. They hide the system after doing this, taking it out of the system. So it's a good. We are actually the archives now, because these stuff you can't get out of the land and survey anymore because they're hiding. But even Paradise Island, we talked to you about that, the situation with Toby Smith and all that. We have documents for Paradise Island.
Paradise Island.
So
Talk in the mic. I want the public to hear you.
we have documents for Paradise Island. Actually, the whole nation. You got to realize in the Bible, the book of Isaiah, we are actually the islands of the sea. So this is actually God times. And I tell people this day is the time that at this age I'm on my best behavior. I plan to be on the jury in heaven when God calls this world to conclusion. So from the day you exit the womb until the day you die, once God revealed to me, then I can judge. I'm not to judge nobody right now. But until then, when God has showed me everything, I plan to be on the jury. So that's my greatest ambition.
Even in Bimini, South Bimini, right here. South Bimini, but y'all can't see it. Huh? You
Sometime.
In South Bimini, where they doing it at the airport now?
Talk in the mic. Talk in the mic.
That's it on our property too. Mingo give that to his brother, Samson Roll. Samson Key in Exuma. Mingo Roll. Give that to his brother. Huh? White Bay Key, he give that to his sister, Tari Perry on now. White Bay Key in Exuma. That's Mingo Roll on. If I bring them up and show you all that, everybody here be crying. Everybody here be crying.
Well, I can tell you this, my brother. What's your name?
Alvin Roll. All
right, so he's a roll. Y'all are the first black people I know to own an airport. All right. I think, Mr. Roll, I think they get the picture. Mr. Roll.
Yes, sir.
They get the picture. I'm going to say this to you and all of the families like you. When the COI gets in, we are going to right those wrongs. All right, thank you. We can continue. God bless you, man. All right. We can fix it. The mic is open. I want to hear from you all now. Put a chair right here. Let's give them enough space to talk and move around. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, the microphone is open. What do y'all think about what you've heard? What do you think about what you've been experiencing? Any of your stories online, you have questions, you have comments, the mic is open. Y'all come up. This town hall is for y'all. Go ahead. Go to the mic.
Well, good evening, everybody. You know, someone sent me a message, and they said what the COI should do is people's land who has been commuted and ex-cheated need to come forward to the COI and bring the documents. So Weatherfords have been here from the 1700s on one side, the other side 1600s, with land in Grand Bahama, Abaco, and Eleuthera, Crown land grants. The grant is given to Bahamians of all colors. South Bimini, one of my friends who's watching, people are trying to do some things with his Crown land grant. A Crown land grant is registered in England, correct? That's from the Queen or King, right?
Yeah.
We also have something called commonage property. Same thing. Some things are about to happen with land in the Bahamas that'll shock. And I'd like to see you, because maybe 2 other airports belong to a Bahamian. The land that we gave to the cruise ship, was that Crown land? So if we give somebody Crown land, let me try to put this together where it makes sense. You inherit a piece of property on the beach in Lyford Key, but you have no money. But a foreigner comes and says he'll put a nice house on this piece of property you own. But the leaders tell you, you should be thankful he put a house on your beachfront property and you could make the bed or serve the drinks or the food. But it rents for $10,000 a night. Shouldn't you get half? So if we're giving our land to a cruise ship in different islands, near lighthouses, wherever, where is our ownership in that deal? So we need to go back to the Crown Land Registry in England, go back to all of the Bahamians who have been like the two gentlemen we just heard, bring your documents, and let's research it. Because some things were done over the last couple hundred years that disenfranchised many Bahamians. And I won't go into any more details, but I need to come see you. And many other Bahamians. Only one thing, I'll leave you with this. Only one thing has real in front of it, and that's real estate. You couldn't vote unless you had land just a few years ago, right? So it's that powerful? Anyway, change is here.
The land that Mr. Edwards is talking about, some of that is right on West Bay Street. Very valuable land that they are taking from Bahamians. The majority of the land on West Bay Street was owned by black people. The mic is open. Y'all come and speak. Who's next? Y'all scared to tell the government off? Y'all come talk. Come tell them off.
OLI. My name is Olivia Ingram Griffin, Freetown candidate. Blessings, COI change agents. I'd like to specifically speak to my young, organic Bahamian voters. Okay? We have to be real. We absolutely cannot afford to be tourists in our country. We flag our flag high. We sing our national anthem. Our navel strings are buried on the soil. But we absolutely cannot afford a piece of the land. They make it so that it is out of reach. Absolutely. This is our country, not a resort, not a playground for foreign billionaires. Ours. We have to take this seriously, right? Have you ever tried to follow someone and they would not lead by example? Firsthand, Mr. Bean, I have seen him lead from the position of leadership, the way in which it ought to be done. I watched this man stand in front of a tractor. I watched this man in action speak with authority and make that tractor driver get off the land. We are all in a precarious position right now. This is our moment to actually shine, take back our power. Land isn't just a piece of dirt. It's history. It's family. It's power. But if we do not use this power, it's worthless. We cannot wait to own our land when we are unalive, 6 feet under. We cannot wait to own our land when we are 6 feet under. It is about time we wake up and fight. This is geared towards my young, eligible voters. I speak as a millennium myself, having owned my property, never thinking truly that this would be a time that I can get that. It was because of this COI, the leadership, the team. This is what encourages me to fight every day. This is what encourages me to stand up and fight every day. Freetown, I want you to look and look well. This is true representation. I have been an athlete all my life. I do not know how to stop. He said, pass the baton. You give that to me, you will not get that back until the job is done. I bring it home. I bring it home, ankle, leg, and all. And then when the job is done, I pass it on to the next. This is how it ought to be. I bless you, and I would like to encourage you. No more sellout. Fight. The time is now. Fight. Get up every day, not to struggle, but to thrive. Freetown for change. Live for legacy. Blessings.
Land is what connects you to your nation. That's why they could justifiably say you could only vote if you have land, if you are connected to the nation. Let me show you how powerful land is. All of the natural resources come from land.
That's right.
All come from land. You came from land. Everything came from the land. You will return to the land when you finish. That's why this is worth fighting for. You got to fight for this. But the land is not only the dirt. Even our ocean is on land. If you think geologically, the ocean is on top of land. Our ocean is where our real wealth is. And that's what we're going for. I got one newspaper clipping. Producer, I got one newspaper clipping that I want you to show. Something that look like a newspaper article. I want you to show that. Yeah, that's it. They found 13 shipwrecks. They are worth $1 billion each. One they found, it's in Bahamian waters. One that they've already started doing, they said is worth $1.5 billion. One of them. One of them has 5 tons of worth of gold. Before election, I was telling everybody about the thousands of shipwrecks that Spain identified. This came out 2 days before the 2021 election. But Bahamians didn't listen. They was busy shaking pom-poms. Our national debt is less than the value of what they've already dug up, identified. Spain found 5,000 shipwrecks worth at least $1 billion each. That's $5 trillion. But you got people going all over social media saying, they can be in selling dreams. That can't happen. We can't get no money. We can't get nothing. They're like the slaves who wanted to stay a slave. That's ours. We take in that.
Thank you very much.
If it's there, why don't we go get it? Why? I told everybody, the gentleman came, met with Minis and some others, the Governor General at the time and some others, on his boat, on his yacht, and I told everyone when it happened. And he wanted to get the right to go get the treasurer, the treasurer. He would get 20% and he would give the government 80. By the time they finished with that meeting with him, they flipped that around. And a part was under the table for them, of course. That's what I believe. $5 trillion, Spain identified. That's just Spain. That ain't England, that ain't France, that ain't Portugal, that ain't all other places.
That's right.
Millions of shipwrecks. If you know about our water now, you got to be careful running our water. We had to be careful. One of our boats hit ground going to Grand Key. And them fell right when we took off. And those fellas know them waters. All right? So those strange people coming from the next side of the world, they know our water. So they got shipwrecked like crazy.
Yes.
That was just part of the business.
Yeah.
Our waters are full of treasure.
That's right.
That's our treasure. That's our goal. We inherited that. We take in that.
That's right.
This can only happen if you all fight for this. You got to fight for this. You got to make this happen. We need you. As you learned at the beginning of this, there's only one way to get what belongs to us.
That's right.
And that's to get the pen. This, what I showed you all in the beginning, is proof. Proof. See, when Trump made his statements, everyone said, oh, Trump lying, this and that and this and that. Later they found out what he was saying was true. But he ain't had this. See, he just talk. I just talk with paper in my hand.
Yes.
And I knew this, but I didn't discuss this until I got the proof. So 105% of the people in Pinewood polling division number 8 voted. How? How, Maria? You lock up. Everybody lock up in the government. Y'all think about this. Their biggest fear is Lincoln being in the House of Assembly. They don't have no fear other than that. And that's because they know I have one mission, that's to empower you.
That's right.
I spoke to Glennisana Martin, and I'll say this publicly outside the House of Assembly. She said, boy, Lincoln, I don't know how you just do it. She said, you have a whole government fighting against you. She said, we try, we dig to find any dirt on you, and we couldn't find nothing. This is what Glennisana Martin told me. So we couldn't find nothing. Nothing substantial. And she said, I couldn't find, she said, we couldn't find what makes you tick. She said, you ain't doing this for no benefit. It just don't benefit you.
Thank you.
You just doing this. Like, no one just does this. And it was, she said to me right outside out of assembly, she said, and I respect you.
That's right.
They scared of change. They're afraid of you being empowered. Every country that empowered their people, the powers that be was afraid of losing power. You see, it's kind of like You ever been sitting in a car and you ain't looking really left and right, but the car on the side of you start to move forward, park inside, they start to move forward. You can feel all of a sudden like your car moving backwards. You feel like, that's instinctive. You feel like you moving, but it's really because the other person moving. The powers that be feel that because we move up, they moving down. They just feel that instinctively. We can't let them. No, they supposed to be under us. They the low class people. They can't speak like us. They put their elbows on the table. They don't know which fork to use. They're not putting the handkerchief on their lap. We can't let them be empowered. They feel they must always be better than you. But until the philosophy which holds one race superior and another inferior is finally and permanently discredited and abandoned, there will be war. I didn't take up this mantle to play. I took up this mantle to empower a nation of people, black people, white people, Chinese people who are Bahamian. I don't care what your class is, what your race is, you Bahamian, come stand with us. And on this day, 27th of July, 2025, I declare war on those who have declared war on Bahamians. I am not ashamed to be Bahamian. I am not afraid to say I'm Bahamian. And I'm not afraid to empower my fellow Bahamians. It is time for us to unite as a people. Because if everyone is united in our country and we are divided, we will lose. That is a universal principle. If you are divided, you cannot beat someone who is united. It is impossible. We must unite. All of us. Put aside your differences in history. I don't care what the white man, great-great-great-granddaddy do. That done done. I ain't got no more excuses. You Bahamian, I Bahamian. Let's get together. Our country getting invaded. Because Toby ain't black, but he getting treated just like you. Wani Lucho was in black, but they getting treated just like you. Disney get that land, not them. We have to be one Bahamas. We have to stand with each other. This is what they are terribly afraid of. And this is why they will fight us. But I'm going to stand in the front and I'm going to take the bullets and take the blows. Nothing good comes easy. Freedom isn't free. But I can guarantee you, thank you, my brother. I can guarantee you one thing. Your children will thank you for this stance. My daddy died in 2002. He had no idea that his son is now paying VAT because he didn't stand up.
That's right.
He used to brag to the tourists that we don't pay taxes in the Bahamas. He was a taxi driver at one point. And he used to brag to them, oh, we don't pay taxes, no income tax, no sales tax, no nothing, just live. He know his son, because he was so relaxed and comfortable, his son is now paying for what Ingram was doing, and Christie was doing, and Pinlin was doing. When they said in those days gone by, oh, this money Ingram spending, your children have to pay for that. That sounded cliche. It just sounded like something you say. His children don't really pay. We don't really pay taxes. But now they finding everything to tax you on. Every fee they could find to dig up on you. It's time, Bahamas. We ain't got nothing to lose. We ain't got nothing to lose at this point. It could only get worse if we let them say get back in. Now, they are having their little rallies. They could be out tomorrow. The PLP could be out tomorrow twerking and telling everyone dance, dance, dance. Don't worry about the care. Just dance. Just twerk. Remind me of Kamala Harris. Just twerk. Bring the DJs out. Bring the rappers out. Twerk. We are here educating the Bahamian public.
That's right.
So if you let them fool you, that's on you. They ain't play not one piece of music in none of our town hall meetings. Because we ain't here to kill you with hype. We're not here to hype you up and tell you just vote for us and be blind like there's some kind of cult. They are cults because they want you to blindly believe them and blindly support them and blindly just do whatever they say. No matter what they do, just support them. We are telling you, don't listen to us. Listen to the proof. Feel the proof. You're experiencing it every day. When you go to the food store, when you pay your light bill. You feeling this. My job ain't to convince you of nothing. I am here showing you how we can do better. We giving you solutions. We ain't complaining. We giving you solutions. Country that works. That's too much to ask. That can't be too much to ask, eh? So I need all of you to stand up and fight. This ain't about me. This ain't about any of our candidates. This is about a nation that is in peril. How much Kentucky got to go up before y'all catch sense? How much light bill got to go up before you catch sense? You can't pay for corned beef. You can't pay for sausages. She says spam is almost $10. I know. I want to know who does eat spam to know that. Spam is now a luxury product. Spam. Spam is on level with caviar. We got to fight, y'all. We got to fight. And so the only way to fix the problems in this country is to move the FNM and PLP. That's the only way. Only them benefiting from everything that you are suffering from. The oligarchs selling the spam. You think about that. Focal sells electricity to BEC. When you think they could actually put that down? Why would they put that down? When they know some Bahamians so fool they can still vote for them no matter what they put the light bill to. The grocery bills is high and the government is doing nothing to stop it because they are making more VAT money from it. Think. Every other country, they did stuff to make sure that the grocery bills went down. They put measures in place. Hell, they say, man, it high everywhere. Yeah, just take it. So they increase it from 0 to 10% for 4 years and then say, and then want you praise them for putting it down to 5%. See, 10 and 5% on one receipt. So, but this is the point I want you to understand. They celebrating putting the thing that they put to 10 to 5, like they did something. Oh, we put it down to 5. You put it to 10. If when you walk through the neighborhood, you could have walked through there in peace. And then a bully came, and he said, every time you walk through this neighborhood, I can slap you 10 times. You got to take 10 slaps to walk through this neighborhood. And you got to go home, so you walk through there and you just take your 10 slaps. You don't do nothing, because all of us getting our 10 slaps every time we go to the grocery store. And then after 4 years, the bully say, now I can start slapping you 5 times. You see? I was good to you. And they paint that in such a way that, who celebrates that? And like she said, they wouldn't take off the customs duty. So we got to wake up. All right? So we got to take our land, and our land is going to be used as collateral to fuel the new Bahamas. Issuing the land to the people is ensuring that the land stays in the hands of Bahamians. Canada did that. When Canada felt like America was encroaching on them, Canada started giving land to Canadians on the western side of Canada, giving it to them. Because wherever you have people with land, that determines your territory. All right? Wherever you have people with land, so Canada pushed them way over there. All right? So America couldn't get it. And America did the same thing with the West. They're going all the way up to Washington, up in the north, Washington State. They gave their people land. That's how this works. Why can't we give our people land and empower them? Why not? Why can't we give them land so that when a foreigner wants to come here and do business, they got to partner with a Bahamian? We're going to enforce that. Not as some kind of draconian law, but out of business. Benefits, both sides. You've heard me say this before. When Saul Kirshner came here to build Atlantis, we gave him everything. I see $1 billion in concession, so he built the place for free. We gave him our crown land on PI. We let him buy land there. We changed the direction of traffic on Bay Street and Shirley Street because he said do so. I think he just was playing with them. I think he was just punking them. He said, you know what? And I want to change the direction of traffic on Bay Street too. You can do that too? And they said, yes, sir, master. You can do that for true? They gave him everything in the kitchen sink. Now, when he went to Dubai, it was a different story. Dubai said, okay, you go own half, and the people of Dubai go own half. Why? Because that's on their land. They ain't got no good land like us. They don't have no real beach. They had to make land. You go own half, and the people, not the government, the people of Dubai go own half. How could that happen? Because they empower their people. He said, deal. They said, hold on. We want a part of what you got around the world. We want a piece of what you got in the Bahamas. We want a piece of what you got in Sun City in South Africa. And if that thing in Las Vegas, you thinking about they ever come off the ground, we want a piece of that too. Where are negotiators? Saul said, deal. They say, no, we ain't finished yet. And we Muslims, so you can't have no casino. Deal. They just empowered their people, stood up for what they believe in, and they didn't give them no concessions. None. Zero. They made them pay for everything around them. We could need, traffic got to change here. We could need one road here, one freeway here, because we do real roads. You got to pay for that. The designer here, you're putting a big load on our sewage system. So we could need to put sewage systems, and if we got to use pump trucks in the beginning, you got to pay for that. We need real leaders who can negotiate from a position of strength for our land that is in the mouth of America. So this is what this is about. Bahamians, it's time to possess our land. Go possess your land. You stand up and fight for that. Bahamians in the Family Islands, where they're trying to take your crown land back that you've been on. Let me just inform you. They went in Fox Hill, and Fred Mitchell announces, I played the audio on one of my lives. They said that they regularize those immigrants who's living on our crown land in Fox Hill. Regularize is a big word that many give it to them. In any other country, they would have been riding in the streets. But Bahamians, now they're talking about moving some Bahamians in the Fox Hill area. No, they talking about moving the real Bahamians. The paper ones, they give the land to. They're giving it to their children. This the Bahamas? Who country this is? I ready to go out with a bang, so send y'all tractors and whatever y'all got to send. We getting out with a bang, eh? And it ain't us going out, it's the tractors. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad y'all were able to come out. Ain't much of y'all talk. Y'all let me do all the talking. All right? But of all the stuff that we talked about, this one is the most important. We talk about immigration, we talk about crime. But if you ain't got no land, you will be the immigrant. You will be the criminal. Wake up. Some people say the country is so bad that some of them are moving. Some of them are moving to Canada. Some of them moving to America. But guess what? Many of those who done moved it and come back. This is all you got, you know. Let's fight for this. All right? So don't mind what you see out there. Don't mind what you're hearing out there. Don't mind all the twists and the lies and the distractions. Keep your eyes on the prize. So for the 10th, come. Someone want to talk? Well, this Miss Anna, I stood up in front of the tractor for her. You look like 80 of them.
Good evening, everybody. Driving here tonight, I promised myself that I would not speak.
Hold this one.
I promised that I would not speak tonight. I promised, I said, Debbie, do not speak, do not speak, do not get up, do not speak. Driving here all the way. And I'm up here now. So I am here to talk my story, a little of it. Sometime back, I heard from some of my PLP friends that there was a man, Lincoln Bain, giving out land. Well, that sounded good to me. I wanted some. So I decided, me, myself, and I decided to go to this strange place that I've never been before, at Carmichael Road, what they call the well fields. And I was told that it's near to the Carmichael, the park. So I jumped in my car, me, myself, and I, and we went to the well fields. And I'm driving. And I'm getting scared because I'm going into lots of land that I didn't even know existed in the back there. And I'm driving, and there's nobody around. And I'm getting afraid because I say, if somebody came out, it's just me. And I'm driving and I'm praying and Lord, be with me and guide me and be safe. And then I saw a car in the distance. And I said, yes, another human being. But Lord, don't let it be a bad human being. Let it be a good human being. And I'm driving. And then I see the car. And I'm blowing the car. And guess who it is? Mr. Bain. I say, wow. So he said to follow him to where his trailer was. So I told him who I was, and I did say to him, I'm not a political figure. And I want to tell you, say, before, I'm looking at this land, but I'm from another political party. And would that affect me getting this land? And he said, well, all I need to know is one thing. Are you Bahamian? And I said to him, there is no other Bahamian, dead or alive, that's more Bahamian than me. So when you look at me, don't see white, don't see black, don't see brown, don't see Conky Joe, see Bahamian. So I represent all of those different parts of Bahamian. I am Bahamian. So I was assigned, I told him what I wanted. I was assigned a piece of land. I told him I wanted two, one for a relative, one for myself. I didn't know that the land that I was assigned, and he told me, this is the kind of land that you asking for. This is an ideal for you. I didn't know what that land would come to mean. And so I didn't know that was be the mouth of the farmland, the door of the farmland, and that would be wanted by the opposition. I didn't know that I had to fight, and I would be placed in the door that I had to fight for the entire farmland. I was on, one day when I was there, a lady came to me, and she asked for help. This was a homeless lady, and I'm thanking God for the opportunity that He gave me to own this piece of land. And I had my hands out to the Lord. He blessed me. So I say, I have my hands out to get. I must have my hands out to give. So I said, well, okay. You said you wanted to place. She asked me for an opportunity to build a house that she would move onto another land. So I say, okay, I'll give you that opportunity. But where are you going to move this house? She didn't know. So I said, well, okay. She wanted to build it in the front of my land, and I told her, no. I said, I'll give you a place, and I'll let you stay there until you organize yourself. That house, she didn't know. So I said, well, okay. She wanted to build it. I said, I'll give you a place there until you organize yourself. You hadn't walked, and came a Goliath. They say their Goliath. But we all know the story of Goliath. Yes. They sent me the Goliath who said to me, I am like no other. I am different. I get things done. I have money. I have more money than what I know what to do with. And so I said, well, he said, and I'm coming to take this land, and I'm going to break everything down. And I said, but they're courts. Oh, I could buy the courts. I said, well, okay. I said, if you're going to take my stuff down, leave this lady who just came. Because I met her and him within about 20 minutes from each other. I never knew either of them before. The man then said to me, he has a truck, he has a tractor. He came on the land and he said, there's a tractor there to take everything down. So I said, well, okay, to myself, this is war. And I said, I have to call my troops. I said, Lord Jesus, war. And you know when you get one phone call? I had one phone call because I had no time. I was in war. I had no time to make another phone call. And my phone call was to Lincoln Bain. I thank God that he answered that phone call. And I went to war with him on the phone. I went to war with the police because the police was there, came with the man, came to say that they were there serving for the peace. Now, I'm also a justice of the peace, and I don't know when peace means that you stop somebody, and like what they said to me, I must get off the land. It's not my land. I am in trespass. So I had to be in war with them to tell them, first of all, you have no right to be here on my land, telling me I'm trespassing when there's no jurisdiction for the police to deal with land matters. You cannot tell me. I say, you are trespassing, not me trespassing. They told me I couldn't go on the land. They told me I had to move my vehicle because I'm trespassing. So I'm to war, and I have my party listening, driving, say, I'm coming. I said, okay, I'm at war while you reach in here. And me and the police having it out. Me and the police having it out. And I'm telling them all the law I know because they're telling me foolishness that was not for the law. My party reach. And when I went, and you know, and my name is Deborah. When that day, that particular day, I said, Lord, I know why you call me Deborah. Because I am going to war by myself. My party is coming. And I'm to war. And Jesus, I say, Lord God, you are with me. And the Spirit must be with me. Because I will fight this by myself if I need to. And I'm not fighting it for myself. I am fighting it for all of my parties, for all the farmlands, for all the Bahamians. And I must say to you, you all know the story with Mr. Bain getting in the front of the tractor. The same tractor that the man brought on my land to take me out. They took me to the police station. And they tried to convince me that I must leave the land. Mr. Bain went with me, but they would not let him upstairs, where they had the conversation with me. They wanted me, so they showed me this map, and they convinced me that they were going to take over the whole farmland. They showed me this map with names, and they said to me, do you see your name? I said, no. They said, do you see Mr. Burns' name? I'll call his name. I said, yes. They tell me, say, what does that say to you? I tell them, you have the wrong map. Yeah. So they said to me, Bill, he has a grant. I say, that doesn't worth the paper that grant is on. They say to me, do you have any titles? I said, yes. They said, where are your titles? I say, I'm a Bahamian. So they said to me, he has something. I said, well, okay, he has a title, but I have title elsewhere. They're conflicting titles. And so we have from different streams. I said, to begin with, his title, when it competes with my own, we have to go by who is in possession. I'm in possession. Which means he has to go. He's trespassing. So she said, and Mr. Burns said, that's a dangerous woman. So they start to ask me questions because they wouldn't let Mr. Bain come in. And so I said, well, every question they ask, I will play the fool. I said, well, when they ask a question, I said, I don't know. I'm the wrong person. You have to ask Mr. Bain. So eventually they couldn't get anything from me. So I said, well, you better call Mr. Bain and let him come up here. So when I looked, Mr. Bain was called and he was up there. And so I say to you, I will close off. And that's only little peaks of the story. I will close off and I will say to you, I stood out there 2 times. The last time, the guy, Mr. Burns, he did take down my land. There was nobody from the farmland with me. I fought that one pretty much myself with Mr. Griffin, and they pulled us off the land. The policeman was out there, not for peace. They were there to assist Mr. Burns in getting the land, and they pulled us off the land. Yes, they were paid. When they took my land down, first they said it was just going to take the front portion down. That was the government part, the 20 feet or whatever. And I was okay with that. Then I saw them coming into the land, into my farm. So I said, well, okay now, Lord. I said, it's me and you, but I can't deal with this one. And the Lord dropped in my spirit, and I am not exaggerating. He said, be still. I have this. I sat in my car and I looked, and I felt myself move to a different level. And I was watching a movie. And I started to pray. And the Lord told me, be quiet. I have this. And when all was finished, I went to the police who was sitting in their Jeep, Mr. Carey and Mr. Wells, sitting in their Jeep. I went over and I said to them, I said, yeah, you think it's finished, but it's just beginning. I said, this is just the beginning. And he said to me, well, you know the government has a right to take the land. I said, yes, but it has to be for a community purpose. It has to be for this, that, and the next. And he didn't know I knew that. And I said, you all didn't offer, not even on this land, you all didn't even offer a notice that you would come on the land. You waited for Mr. Bain to be out of the land, out of the country, but God was in it, and he's in it now. And so I'm encouraging every Bahamian to stand up, possess what we own, ignore the white in the person, the black in the person, the woman in the person, the man in the person, the age of the person. Mr. Burns felt that because there was some other lands that it was easy for them to take over, that when he entered my land, it would be easy. But he didn't know my name was Deborah. And he didn't know that I was in a fight. And I will fight for my land. And I will fight for the farmlanders. And I will fight for the land for all Bahamians because it is ours. We own it. One thing that we must be grateful for by a PLP is when Pinlin said, if you don't want to fight for it, you don't deserve it. So if you want it, be prepared to fight for it. And if you don't fight for it, we have other persons in the country who would fight and are fighting and are letting us know. And Bahamians don't work together as much as those others. We have a new culture, a new religion, a new way of thinking that wants to come in and take over. But if we stand together, they could defeat us separately, but they cannot defeat us together. And together, Bahamians are a force to reckon with. But we must be together. And so let us take my example of what happened as motivation for you, that you must stand together. We as individuals, we as a country, we as a nation, stand together. Thank you so much.
All right. You deserve that round of applause. It's a strong, strong woman. What Brave Davis decided to do was to give persons grants on a part of the land so that it would look like we were Bahamians fighting against Bahamians. And I chose not to do that. All right? Now, the fellow that was with our situation, that was different. The fellow with our situation, he came there saying he is PLP and they taking this whole thing. All right? And, you know, I don't stand for those kind of things.
That's right.
If you would come here with an actual purpose, with sense, and that's fine. But to come here saying we is PLP, we this our time, we taking what's ours now, we didn't make all this money, we got to spend it. No, boss, we can fight. Because of the land was so kind. She took a part of her land and allowed a woman who was homeless, who went to social services, went to the government, etc., and could not get any help and was living in a car. She told her, you build right here, and you allow a roof to put over your head, so you're not getting eaten by mosquitoes in your car every night, and you at least have somewhere to be. That's a Bahamian did that. The government wasn't willing to help her. Brave them wasn't willing to help that lady. But then they saying they come in there to break down the house of a Bahamian on the land. You all know I plan on getting locked up, right? You can't do this to Bahamians, man. How much more you want us to take in this country? 70 years, you had them other people building on our land and wouldn't touch them. If it wasn't for the COI, you would have never do nothing around here with that. Now you want to come touch Bahamians with all them other shanty downs still in existence? You don't touch no Bahamian till every shanty down is broken down. But the reason they stopped breaking them down is because they run out of houses and apartments to put them in. Because they was using your social service money to help them. Pay your own rent? Come out of my country. When you have a government fighting down their own Bahamians and giving benefits to other people, that's when the country is broken. We got to fix this, y'all. At least let one country be somewhere we could be first, man. At least one country in the world. This one for us, man. This one is ours. They call on my Bahamian men to stand up and stop being soft. You go to Haiti and try what they're doing here and see what their men will do to you. You all stand up, man. They go into jail. You all stand up. My ma and pa is Bahamian. My grandmas and grandpas is Bahamian. My great-grandmas and great-grandpas is Bahamian. Brave can't say his man, pa is Bahamian. Pintard can't say his man, pa is Bahamian. I can say it and I am not ashamed. My ma and my pa is Bahamian. And I don't have a problem with any other race of people, but I could love my people. I could love my people. I could love my country. I could be proud of myself. Me loving me don't mean I hate you. I love me and I love this. You don't love yours enough to go fight for yours, but you want to fight us here. We can fix this, eh? But I want to thank you all for joining us tonight. I appreciate you being here. It means a lot. Like I said, we could take 2 weeks off from the town hall format, and then we can start our lives. But we'll always have chairs here if you want to come and sit down and be a part of it. You'll know what topics we could be talking about ahead of time. But we got to educate the people. And people say you go here and go there and have your town hall meetings, but guess what? When we do this, tens of thousands of people are watching. It ain't just about the people in the audience, you know. Tens of thousands are watching. If you call a meeting on the park, tens of thousands of people ain't coming out to no park. You get 200 maybe, 300, 400, 500. But right now, tens of thousands watching this. All right? And we just educated tens of thousands of people. And it's the job of those tens of thousands of people, it's their job. It's their job to spread the message. You got to go out there and make this happen. It's what you do with this. All right? So we're going to fight for our land. Again, I love when any Bahamian gets land. And I ain't here to fight no Bahamian. All right? That ain't my thing. But I can fight political bullies. But any Bahamian, I ain't getting in no mix-up between Bahamians. All right? You all go deal with that in the courts. That's what the court's for. Okay, I ain't getting in that. But you know one else. You know politicians will bully no Bahamian. You know powerful oligarchs will bully no Bahamians. Not on my watch. And you know foreigners will bully no Bahamians in my country. I can stand up and fight. All right? And so I want to thank you all for coming out and spending your Sunday evening with us. The war is just beginning. The election is here. You want to say something? Are you waiting to land? Come. You got to be quick, though. You got to be quick.
A very pleasant good evening. My name is Yvette Prince. I am the COI representative for Yamakura. And by faith, the next MP for Yamakura. I wrote down something, so I'm going to read it to make sure I don't leave out anything. For the past about 8 months, I've been noticing the clearing of land throughout Nassau. And that has never been cleared down in all of my life. And this is being done in Nassau, and I'm sure if it's being done here, it's being done throughout the Commonwealth. There are so many plots of land being cleared down. After a little while, you'll see it fenced around, and then construction begins, and there's huge buildings being built. It seems as though these properties get cleared down overnight because you pass, for instance, on Yamakura, Prince Charles Road, a lot of places, but this particular one, I go down Prince Charles a lot because I go into Yamakura. It's like overnight, these properties get cleared down. So I don't know if they're out there in the night with big lights because one day it's there, the next day land is cleared down. So they must be doing something overnight. It seems as though properties were cleared down overnight. Many of them just appear cleared down that was not cleared down the day before. The danger in just bulldozing land is that there is no preservation of trees that we need to preserve. So they just bulldoze everything. Whoever is doing this is destructive. My gut feeling is telling me that there is a land grab going on in the country, and this is very disturbing to me. Organic Bahamians have applied for Crown land for up to 20 years and more and haven't gotten a response to acknowledge even a receipt of the application. In addition to this sudden massive clearing of land, real Bahamians are huddled on the inner city, and foreigners are taking the outskirts, which is more spacious, for their own personal use. And some land is also being given to commercial use to other foreigners, oligarchs, and the mystery man. I call it the mystery man because they're clearing these land overnight. And none of them are legally entitled to our land. This is a bold violation, a disrespect, and an absolute outrage for Bahamians and the Bahamas. My understanding of Crown land is that Crown land was given by the Queen as reparations to descendants of Bahamians who have had to endure slavery and suffered many injustices for generations because of the colonization of the Bahamas by England. These other people who are getting land were colonized by the French and have no legal right to be on our land for Bahamians. Our land is meant to empower real Bahamians, descendants of slaves, not descendants of slave owners, which is the oligarchs, and is also a part of legacy that should be passed down to the children of and grandchildren of slaves that were colonized in the Bahamas by England. This is an absolute bold violation to Bahamians, and it is my prayer that Bahamians will join together like never before to protect our land for our children and their children. This is a call to action for the Bahamians throughout the Commonwealth of the Bahamas to put down our political pom-poms and stand together as one like never before to protect our birthright for you and your children and their children for generations to come. This is not a political thing, this is a Bahamian thing. Do not allow our colors to separate us for what is intrinsically Bahamian. We should not sit by idly and allow our heritage to be pillaged in our faces. Let us stand together and put an end to this. We are making a demand on the government of the Bahamas to enact the Freedom of Information Act so that we would be aware of what is going on in our country, to give our land to the rightful owners, and to stop giving our birthright to people from foreign lands. It's treasonous. Together we stand, united we fall.
Right. All right, Yamakura, thank you so very much. Yvette Prince is an entrepreneur. She even makes Bahamian jewelry and stuff like that. Very talented. So very proud of you. Just want you to know that Freetown is going to be having their back to school event on August 9th. Play that for us, please.
Freetown! Back to school! Yay!
That's right, it's that time again. Second annual Freetown Community Back to School Give Back. Fun, prayer, unity, food, and family. August 9th, 2025, 1 to 4 p.m. Anstown Park, near Uriah McPhee Primary School. See you there.
All right. Well, you could choose Wayne Monroe again and get more of that, or you could go with a young Bahamian, talented, gifted entrepreneur in Freetown. It's simple as that. All right? So I believe that God is making a move in this nation. And again, it's not what we do, it's what you do that's going to make the difference. It's nothing that we do. You have to go out there and fight for this, spread the word, spread the message, and make this happen. I'm going to be in Pinewood Gardens tomorrow, going door to door again. We go every Monday. So if you want to join me, you can join me there. But we're going to be touching the ground in Pinewood Gardens. We got to take Pinewood. We got to take Pinewood. We got to make it too big to rig. Last time they cheat, we got the proof. We got to make it too big to rig. All right? We got to make this so overwhelming that how much ever ballots they put in there, that ain't going to help them. All right? And so, ladies and gentlemen, we need your help. We need your help. So if you support, if you believe in the movement, we're going to be there from 5:30, all right? And then we're going to hit the ground right after that. So make sure you're there. We're going to go and take this country one constituency at a time. So God bless you. Thank you for being here. We wish we could have feed you tonight, but we were unable to, beyond our situation, beyond our control. But of course, I think you were well fed with information and knowledge. So again, we're coming off for two weeks, and then we'll be back to further educate the Bahamian people about what's really going on in this nation. Thank you for joining us. God bless you, and good night.